Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Still getting the hang out of this something. So I hope all of you are doing well today. We are gonna do some Archviz stuff. So without further ado, let me share my screen with you. I saw this a while ago, this design, and I immediately fell in love with it. And today we'll be doing this. So it's an architectural design called The Fourth Room by Fran Silvestre Arquitectos. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I love these guys. They specialize in minimalism in architecture. Their all of their houses, apartments have like this amazing minimal feeling to them. So I immediately fell in love with this apartment when I saw it, and I already went ahead and did the plans. Not me actually, Zahir from the team. Thank you so much. So we will be using the plans to make that, and then after we finish the 3D modeling, we will talk about how to model for Unreal Engine and like what are the common mistakes, answer your questions and whatnot. And then once we finish modeling, we will send that to Unreal Engine, use Quixel Mega Scans to do some texturing, put the lighting and whatnot, and all this good stuff. So I hope you guys can hear me. Hey, it's your boy Zahi. Look at that. He is here. Nice. All right. So let me know if you can hear me well, guys. And let's put also some little music. Something like this, perhaps. And we should be good here. Nice. Zahi, do you remember this project, my man? Hey, Zahi, Imran, Zultan. It's good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. Alright, let's get into it. I already have my 3S Max project, already imported the plans, and let's just get started. So I'm gonna select everything, and I'm gonna make sure that it's on the move this to 0, so I move this -10. No, -10, right? -20. We should be good. So we will start with modeling the walls, the easiest part. And when it comes to stuff like the walls, I think when I imported these plans, I just migrated all of them, so I made all of them as one piece. Yogando, welcome buddy, how are you? Nice, let's get started guys. So, easy stuff, modeling. We can do the walls in two ways, as you know. We can let's just make a new layer, call it walls. We can retract these lines with the spline tool, and let's go ahead and do that real quick. And some other parts we can use the box primitive object. How was your day, guys? How was your week? Tell me, you had a good week? Imran, Zultan, Ugando, tell me. And you too, Zai. So let's quickly track this part. I remember the height of this was like 280 something, so that's fine. Gonna give this an extrude modifier 280. Some walls might be easier if you just click on box and then it activates snap. Like when it comes to modeling architectural elements, snap is your best friend. So I always use the vertex snap, whether in Blender or Max, because it's the easiest to snap to. So for example, this piece of wall, I can snap from this vertex to this vertex, and when it comes to height, I can snap to this vertex, so they can share the same height. Nice. I'm glad to hear that, Imran. Are you guys working on any Unreal Engine projects? What's up? What projects are you working on? Here I believe I have a window, so let's keep it. Let's make another spline here, track these guys. My week was great. It's perfect. I can't complain, and I don't think it can get any better. So, day by day, everything is good. My week was great. Thank you for asking. Zultan, get a horrible project. Send them screenshots of 40 things that. Ooh. Damn it. Yeah, feedback from customers. Sometimes it's painful. The best way to deal with the feedback is to make a list, like one by one, and then check them off, you know? So, I think you will be working this weekend on your project then, Zultan. Is that correct? Or will you take it off? Sometimes it's important to take some time off, you know? So, health is important. We missed the vertex here. So I'm gonna quickly model the walls and then we will separate them, and I will tell you why we should separate them and whatnot. Cinema 4D. I started learning Cinema 4D when I started our latest project. This guy, just to know how to navigate around. You may be familiar with this project. We streamed it yesterday and last week. We are almost finished with this, by the way. I was supposed to do the stream 5 hours ago, but I was finalizing some parts of this project. So expect some new videos, guys, on how to do amazing stuff like this. Yeah, man. Weekend for the win. I plan on playing Apex Legends for the weekend. The new update looks sick. Do you guys play games, by the way? So let's do another extrude here. And we're nearly done with the walls. One other way I like to model the walls is like when I'm using... Actually, the box is my favorite primitive of all time. So what I do is snap from a vertex to vertex like this, right? And then I convert this to edit poly. And then I add a swift loop. And then move it on the x-axis or y-axis where I want. Then select this face and just extrude it to this point. Then extrude it again and extrude it, whoa, wait, and extrude it again, and so on. The reason I do this on modeling, I rarely actually use the line tool. I always like to work with the box like this, as you can see here, because it gives me clean topology immediately. So this is not clean topology, but it really does not matter. Still, I have OCD when it comes to topology, so that's that. Imran, thank you. Hey George, how are you, George? How's your week? Finally, weekend. Imran, stay tuned for the upcoming tutorials on that. Recorded the complete process, and however, if you're willing to watch like 4-hour stream, you can watch that, but stay tuned. I love environment design in Unreal Engine. It's very fun. It's like one of my favorite things to do. By the way, I forgot to show you the house. This is the house we're doing. I showed you the first image here, but let me show you more pictures so we know exactly what we're doing. Good afternoon to all of you, my guys. So the house we're doing is again by Fran Silvestre Arquitectos, Spanish architects. They specialize in minimalist design. I love their designs. If we Google them real quick, one of my very favorite projects of all time by them is... where is it? It's actually this guy. This is Render, I believe. This is one of my very favorite projects by these guys. And there is another project, but I can't remember it. So like this, yeah, this one. This is my top project of all time by these architects. I saw this one for like a few years ago, and it's stuck in my head. Alright, so just got here. No, you didn't miss much, Amark. What we're doing is there is this design, this apartment I saw a while ago by Fran Silvestre Arquitectos. I need to pronounce this correctly. They specialize in minimalism, and I fell in love immediately with this. and we will be doing this today in Unreal Engine. So I'm gonna start with 3D modeling, and we will move on to Unreal Engine once we finish like 3D modeling of all the stuff we have. And today, because it's like chill, it's easy stuff here, minimalism and whatnot, Q&A is open, so feel free to ask anything while I'm working, and I will answer your questions in Unreal Engine or Max or modeling. Basically, yeah, Q&A for the win. Yeah, so basically this apartment, I already took all the screenshots and saved them in PureRef, and PureRef is one of my favorite tools of all time to save my reference pictures and inspiration boards. I just love this tool. If you don't have it already, pureref.com, go download it, you know, and you can drag pictures from everywhere, from the web and whatnot, organize them and all this good stuff. And you can also add like text notes and all this good stuff. So this is what we will be doing today. Nothing complicated. And yeah, we already got started on the walls. So yeah, again, you did not miss much, buddy. And welcome. Alright, so here we have a column. Again, you see how amazing it is to model with snaps on. It's just so easy, so intuitive. I forgot what we have here, but I think it's another window, and here is another window. And here we have a sliding door, as far as I remember, so let's see. Yeah, this is the sliding door. This is a closet. Let's see another picture. I should separate these pictures based on the rooms because right now are slightly randomized. So let's put these next to each other. And the part we are working on here, so here is the closet that we just saw, which is this one. This. So this is it, and here we have a big window, and here we have, I think the height, let's do a standard height of like 80 something for now. Here we have a sofa, and here a wall behind the sofa. So far, so good. Alright. We're nearly finished modeling the walls, so we need to add place for the windows, so let's keep them all at 80. This was 80, right? I like to customize my user interface on what tools I'm using, so helpers, you know, just instead of going all the way here to find the tape tool, you can find it here. Another 80 and another 80. I already have the model finished of the house, by the way, so if you guys get bored of this, let me know so we can switch to that. Alright, now let's do this. Let's do this as 20 or something. What is the height of this window? 180, keep it, not bad. There we go. There we go. How's the music, guys? Is it good? Or is it making you sleepy? Don't sleep. This is a railing, so let's do that. Give it 90 or 110. Add another swift loop and then extrude this part all the way to here. So this should be, hopefully, almost all the walls. And we can modify anything if needed. Finalize this real quick. Let's do this. Put it here. And here we have, yeah, this confused me a little bit. So let's see the other images from the other rooms. So this is the master bedroom of the house. And it's so cool. The design of this room is so nice. Let me show you. Yeah, this is the room. So here is the window we are just making. And it seems to me the height of this part, yeah, this is not bad. Could be less than this, but that's fine. We don't have to be like extremely accurate. So this image goes here. Alright, so let's just do, let us kinda confused here. Okay. To make things slightly easier to read, I will move these guys here and then make a new box. Bring it all the way here, then fix this. There we go. That's Skull. Hey! My man, how are you? I saw your question on the, like, the undo while you're in the Oculus mode. I wish I knew. Did you find an answer on that? It's good to see you, man. It's long time no see. How are you? How was your week? Today we're doing this apartment, my dude. So this is an apartment again. I repeated it 5 times. Sorry, guys, but I love minimalistic. I love minimalism, minimalistic architecture. I don't even know if that's right. So it's one of my favorite things to look at and design. So today we're doing this in Unreal Engine. Yeah, fuck man, I'm sorry about that. I think like they never updated the VR controls inside the editor. It's so cool to work in Unreal Engine in virtual reality, but I wish if it could get more love, you know. It's kind of unintuitive at the moment, but I hope it gets like some love in the near future. Nice. Nice. We need to see what you have been working on. I remember you shared some pictures a few weeks ago, and they looked sick, you know? So, how is that? How is it going? Any updates on that design you've been working on? Janja Farmer, hello. Everyone is doing great. Well, I speak for myself. Thank you. How about you? Ha! It works for Vive, but not for Oculus. Well, that's fucked up. Damn it. So let's do this part, guys. I think, let's see. what's going on here. So here we have a closet in the middle of the wall, in the middle of the room, which is this, which is super interesting. So 1, 2, let's look at PureF. Let's locate it. So interesting if it works on Vive and not on Oculus. Okay, buddy. Thank you for thank you for dropping by. I will see you soon, my man. Dead Skull. I see you soon, buddy. Yeah. And good luck. Alright, so where is that closet, my guys? Janja, how are you? How's your week? Are you excited about the weekend? I am. So tell me, guys, any of you here play Apex Legends? Or video games at all? I'm sure you do, right? Thank you, buddy. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I'm glad you like it. And welcome to the community. So here we have 1, 2, 3. I don't know if you guys can see these, the image compression or something, but like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first 4 parts are, let's say, can we find any human next to these? So they have like the waist size, could be like 90 centimeters. Yeah, I think 90 centimeters should work fine for now. So let's go and do. First, I think I have a mistake here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I'm gonna make a box, okay, as a placeholder, and then isolate it from to the middle. We will put 90, and from here we will put another 90, but raise it here. Then we can see what can we do. Peace out, Dead Skull. See you soon, buddy. Thank you again for dropping by. Apex Legends, the new arenas mode, it's so dope. I like yesterday, every day I sleep at 9 or 10 a.m. I sleep super early so I can wake up also early. But yesterday I was playing the arena modes on Apex Legends, and I completely forgot myself. I stayed up to 1 p.m, 1:30 a.m, sorry. So it was fun. It was worth it. I wish I know how to pronounce your name, by the way. It's can you write in English how I can pronounce your name, my man? Sodorios Paris, is that right? Did Google do a good job? Because if Google did a good job, that's amazing. What am I doing here? So in total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. We have 8. So we have 8 doors. Okay. So from here to here, then we should have 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So we can put 4 here and 4 here, and this part like this, we can get rid of this. Something's telling me, and if we look, so we have this from the floor to the ceiling, which is from floor to the ceiling, and these 4 parts goes all the way here. Did I do it right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think we're good. Do you make games in Unreal Engine? I can't say yes. I am familiar with blueprints and like making very basic stuff, but when it comes to games, like I worked on just environments for games. That was 2 years ago for VR games. However, like the reason I am working with Unreal Engine and like doing all of this is because when I was a kid, I wanted to make video games or be an astronaut. Being an astronaut is kinda hard, so making video games was the way to go. And when I very first started in the industry, like especially in Unreal Engine, before I start in Unreal, that like 2015, 2014, I was getting learning 3ds Max to visualize architecture, you know, to make living and like slowly grow as a person, as a business. And when Unreal Engine became free long time ago, I started using the engine for architecture, and my first project was an apartment in Izmir. And since then I've been just working mainly on architecture. I had the chance to work on few environments for few games that never made it to daylight, unfortunately. But it's my dream to work on games at some point in the future. And I have plans for 2022 to be working on my first game. So how do we do? Fingers crossed. What about you, Weho? Do you work on games in Unreal Engine? Are you looking for something specific? Janja, man, this stuff is amazing. Thank you. I started working for architectural visualization in 2 months and still got to learn so much. Oh yeah. The good thing about learning, the more you learn, you just find out that you still need to learn even more, which is amazing. That feeling. And the more you learn, it just makes you happier, and it makes you want to learn more, you know? So this sense of accomplishment, and when you finish something, then publish it on your portfolio, that's amazing. That is amazing. And there is an announcement I forgot to make. I wrote it in the description. Where is it? Let's do this. I'll take 10 seconds to sponsor this stream, guys, okay? So this stream is sponsored by us, by our masterclass in Unreal Engine. If you're looking to learn Unreal Engine in architecture, interiors, exteriors, basically everything, go click on this link and use the discount code while checking out Unreal Community to get 20% off. And wait for next week, because we are, well, you can start the masterclass now, but we are completely uploading the videos all over again, like so many videos coming. So a lot. Big update coming next week to the masterclass. It was supposed to come this week. I had to delay it because we are still working on editing the videos. So that's that. And now let's get back to work. The announcement is finished. Hey, woohoo! Weehoo! Good luck on your game too, buddy. What is your game about? What type of game are you making? And if I'm to tell you the game I have in mind, like I'm brainstorming ideas. It's something futuristic, sci-fi-ish, and perhaps possibly VR. There is a game I really love in VR. What was it? Space Pirate Trainer, sorry. This game, I would like to make something similar to this game, but hopefully because this is one of the best VR games I ever played. Juko, my man. Blessed morning to you too, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. How are you, Juko? How was your week? Are you excited about the weekend? Life is good. Marzouk Sayed. Hey, buddy. Hi, Yahya. How are you? I'm great, thank you. How are you? Is there a way to create material matte shadow like matte shadow in 3ds Max? Do you mean what was it? There was a demo car I saw 3-4 years ago made by Unreal Engine. So Unreal Engine real-time virtual production red car something. There is a way about that, but I need to remember that image. So yeah, this. Do you mean something like this? So if you go to the making of this short film, this is the car, or this is the real world footage, and this is rendered inside of Unreal Engine, this car, and they capture like all the reflections and whatnot. And is that what you are asking about, Marzouk? I wish I could answer this. Yes, I tell you, I know how to do it. Unfortunately, I don't, but you could look at the making of this short. I forgot what was the name. So The Mill is one of the best companies ever in doing this amazing stuff. So yeah, Chevrolet Unreal Engine film, which is a human race. The human race, was it? Yes. Check out this, Marzouk, buddy. Could be useful, and I think this will guide you in the right direction. If you're looking to like in filmmaking and virtual production in Unreal Engine, that is what you're looking for, right? Going back, oh, Dark Souls, you died. Woohoo, weehoo. That's a good idea for a game, you know? Dark Souls in Unreal. Making people angry. Rook, I buy masterclass. Oh, thank you, buddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the stream. Ah. You are a true Habibi. Tottenham, I am new when it comes to Unreal Engine, and I will definitely use it. Unreal Engine is one of the best tools I have ever used. I've been using it daily for the past 6 years now, and I never got bored. Use it. Join us on Discord if you have any questions, need any help, and we will do our best to help. There is a community of 800 people now on Discord, so all of you are welcome. The link is also in the description, guys. Brett Kamertralwiller. Brett, how are you, buddy? So, do you agree that Twinmotion can be used for most Archviz projects easier, faster than Unreal, especially when Twinmotion will soon be fully imported to Unreal Engine? Yes, I agree. I still did not use it. I actually never used it. I have it installed for weeks now, for more than a year actually. And the pipeline I've been thinking about, especially for, if you remember, my plan to use Unreal Twinmotion is actually the following. We did a series of videos, a series of videos and live streams on this project. This is the project we have done in Berlin in Unreal Engine, and we are making a remake of this project, well, 2 months ago, but I still didn't forget about this. I want to do the following. Send this completely from 3ds Max to Twinmotion, finish it in Twinmotion, and then send it to Unreal Engine with the humans and whatnot, or like whatever, see how far I can push this in Twinmotion, and then send it to Unreal so I can view it in VR and do the pixel streaming and whatnot. And I think that's exactly why Epic acquired Twinmotion. It's a great tool. You know, like, I know all architects have no time learning new tools, or they don't want to learn new tools, and they want to visualize architectural designs as fast as possible. So this pipeline, DCC, Digital Content Creation Tool, to Twinmotion, to Unreal Engine is the way to go. And there is a graph about this, Brett. So Unreal Engine Twin Motion, especially in the latest version 2021.1. You see, like, this is Twin Motion here, and this is the project in Unreal Engine, which is incredibly amazing, you know, with the bridge tool and whatnot, and like all these cool stuff. And I also have the pixel streaming made easy. It's now in beta. I need to try Twinmotion, and if you do, let us know about your process or experience on Discord, Brett. I would really appreciate it. And there is a picture. Where is it? Where is it? I don't know where is it, but it shows you like the pipeline, you know, Twinmotion or DCC or like CAD files. So yes, the answer to your question, I think, is yes. Because time is super valuable, you know, and we need always to find ways to make things as fast as possible. It's my pleasure, Marzouk. So, Joko, if I buy the masterclass now, do I still get the update? Of course. And regarding the masterclass, guys, we all know Unreal Engine 5 is coming out sometime in the near future. So there will be a complete remake of the masterclass for Unreal Engine 5 as well, and it's going to be available for everyone for free on like who get the masterclass, of course. So yeah, yes, Joko. There will be. I'm gonna stop advertisements, but if you have anything like, so I don't bore the guys, but the what I'm trying to achieve with my team at VR Division, we're trying to create one course that anyone can get, watch, and learn 3D, Unreal Engine, and everything in between, from materials, lighting, deploying your projects, and everything. It's still work in progress. It's in early access now, but that's the goal, to make #1 masterclass worldwide. It's an ambitious goal, but if it's not ambitious, then what's the point, right? Weho Kitchen, looking forward for your game. I'm looking forward to die in your game too, buddy. Any more questions? Hello from Italy. Salvatore, hey buddy. Thank you for joining. Thank you. I am glad you find the masterclass interesting. I really appreciate it. And thank you. Getting the masterclass is honestly the best way or the only way to support us make more videos on the channel and more live streams. So use the discount code Unreal Community to get 20% off. And limited time offer. Thank you, Joko. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for your support, all of you guys. Now we are nearly done with this house. I will just quickly finalize these parts. Ahmad Ali, welcome to the stream, buddy. How are you? And thank you for your kind words. Once I finish this apartment, I will upload it for free to all of you guys, so you can take a look at it on Unreal Engine. So stay tuned. And to get updated, again, go to Gumroad, and there is already a free apartment on Gumroad that you can grab now. This one. And in few days, I will be adding also this that you can also download and play with it, add your own furniture, your own materials, and as what was the name? Show me what you got. The guy from Rick and Morty, this guy. When you download the apartment, this one, or the one I'm going to upload soon, please show me what you got. Alright? Why did the music stop? We did not agree on this. More music, thank you. That's interesting. Now, I'm just placing placeholders for the kitchen and whatnot. I don't think we would have enough time to make detailed 3D models out of this, but let's add the floor real quick. All right. Hey, Ahmad Ali, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So yeah, I was saying, you made me blush, buddy. Let's export this to Unreal Engine, see what problems we're going to have, and then I will show you the other model I prepared for the stream, and how, like, my thought process on how I divide meshes and whatnot. So let's make a floor and a ceiling real quick. Okay, and I'm going to make all the mistakes in the world now, so we can all learn from them. So let's do this. This part we have a window according to the plans, to the pictures. For all of you who are new here, we are remaking this. Okay, this is one of my favorite apartments I saw on Archdaily from Fran Silvestre Arquitectos. I love these guys. They make amazing minimal projects, and minimalism is one of my favorite types of architecture. So we're doing this apartment today. Yosh. Let's keep going. So here in the kitchen or living room, if you wanna see that closets, so let's find that picture first. So here are the children bedroom. Here are some details. By the way, one of the reasons I love working with a tool like PureRef is, first, it's a tool that you can unplug the internet and have all your pictures in one place without the need to go back to Google or to a web page. So sometimes when I'm working or in deep work state, I like to unplug the internet and work. So that's one, I love PureRef, so everything is saved locally. And number two, you can see these pictures here. So I just quickly duplicate this picture, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. And let's say from this picture, I like the detail here on the table, and I want to save this so I can like just memorize it. What can you do is holding C, then click and drag with your left mouse button wherever you want to crop, and then just do this. And that's awesome, you know? So like, okay, yahiya, remember this part, perhaps. You know what I mean? So PureRef is cool. And the process of collecting images, for me, I start with websites like Google or Pinterest and whatnot. And let's say real quick also, here we are in the internets. I like this picture, I want to save it to my mood board. I just click and drag, you know, and there we go. Here's another picture, you know, click and drag, but just make sure you are clicking and dragging a high quality picture. So again, Unreal Engine here, I like this, just click and drag. 4K image, you see the quality of this image, 4K, you get it in 4K. So that's one of the main reasons I also love PureRef. It's so intuitive. So let's close all of these pages, that's way too much. And let's get back to work. So this room, yeah, these are the closets we're just making here, and here we have an opening for the window, which is this window. So in 3ds Max, to quickly make openings, I just like Shift S. I don't know if it's a real shortcut, but it's basically swift loop. I just add a swift loop anywhere, deselect, then move on the X axis, activate snap, like so. Any tool you're using, just snap is amazing. And then we can do this and cap, then detach. Y2K Madi, hello buddy, how did you got the layout? Here's a tip for all of you guys. If you want to practice architectural projects inside of Unreal Engine but you don't know where to start, if you go to Artsdaily, it's one of the websites that provide you with layouts. So this is the main page of the project, and if you scroll down, you will read information about the project, about the products that are inside this project, which is super useful. And if you keep scrolling, you will read more about the project, and for 99% of the projects you will find the layouts. And regarding this layout, our boy Zahi from VR Division, he is the AutoCAD expert. I told him, hey Zahi, could you please do this layout for me so I can put it in 3ds Max for the boys and girls on our channel? And he said like, yes, no problem. And in Turkey, sıkıntı yok. So Archdaily is one of the best websites to get you started to practice, you know. So what I like to do sometimes is opening the website, scrolling like this until I find a project I like, or just search for a project. And let's say, I don't know, let's find a project together, guys. So yeah, this hospital, for example. If we scroll down, we can always find layouts that can help us understand this project better, and we can copy some stuff from it or steal, you know. Nothing is wrong with that. So archdaily.com, I recommend it for everyone who is practicing anything that has to do with architecture. Anything. Alright, I hope this answers your question, Y2K. Shahid Gair, Salamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam habibi. How are you, buddy? Shahid, how are you? Badal, can you make a tutorial on SketchUp to Unreal Engine 4? I would. One of the projects we did a few months ago was on SketchUp, but it was SketchUp 3ds Max to Unreal Engine, so it's not directly SketchUp to Unreal. But yes, it's on the list, it's planned, and it's going to definitely... What? Is this even English? It's definitely... Yes, the answer to your question, just give us a few weeks for this, and we will have the tutorial the SketchUp to Unreal Engine workflow. I'm like, now in my free times, whenever possible, I'm trying to learn SketchUp so I can make tutorials on it. And there is also tutorials planned from Revit to Unreal Engine. Janja, I started with Blender half a year ago. Now, 2 weeks ago, I started to work with Unreal Engine. I love Blender. I started using Blender since 2.8 on and off, like learning the tool slowly. I love it. The fact that when you click on Blender and it opens in a few seconds, this makes me happy, you know. So 3D design is so amazing because you can do so many things. Exactly, right? That's the beauty of 3D design. You can imagine something and make it. This is one of my favorite artists' work, Leon Tucker, and we recently took this from his concept art to Unreal Engine. And again, it's exactly as you said, from 3D, or like from imagination to 3D and then to virtual reality. That's mind-blowing. It's absolutely amazing, you know, visualizing and designing things and solving problems and building better tomorrow if we are making buildings, or, you know, it's amazing. It's my pleasure, Y2K. I'm glad that I got your question answered. Luciano, salam, greetings from Kiraik. Guys, please don't laugh. Greetings from, Kyrgyzstan. Is that correct? Thank you, Luciano. Greetings back to you too as well. I originally come from Syria, so greetings to all of you from Syria, but I'm in Istanbul, so greetings to you from Istanbul. So cheers, my guys, and thank you for showing up. I hope you're enjoying the stream. I hope you're enjoying the music. Today, for all of you who are new, we are doing this apartment and we are having Q&A session open. So ask anything while I am working on this. I will answer your questions. And speaking of working on this, let's open Unreal Engine. So real quick, if you don't have Unreal Engine, just go to Google, search for unrealengine.com, click Get Started Now, download. It will install Epic Games Launcher. Select Creator's License to start installing the launcher. And if you're making games or planning on monetizing your project in future, there is the publishing license. So the business module, or one of the business modules of Epic, they succeed when you succeed. So when your game or product makes your first $1 million, you start paying 5% royalties. Other than that, it's 100% free to use. That's that. Once you install the Epic Games Launcher, open it, sign in with your Epic account, go to library, add your engine version, select the latest version, and wait for a day or two depending on your internet, usually a few hours, then click launch. Now, once we clicked launch, Unreal Project browser will open, so you can select your previous projects or you can make a new project from a category. At the moment, because we are making an architectural project, we can go with the AAC template. However, you can almost go with any of these templates depending on what you're using, and there are just settings that are pre-enabled for you to make your life easier depending on what industry you are working with. Alright? What I recommend to everyone, even if you are working in architecture, please try to go to games and play with these, whether like the third person or first person, just see what's up. If you're open automotive, go to product configurator. Perhaps you could change this guitar or reverse engineer how this stuff is made and turn it to your projects. Learn from it, okay? And speaking of reverse engineering and learning from stuff, in the Epic Games Launcher, the Learn tab, these projects here, guys, are really valuable. Extremely valuable. So good. So you can learn so much from the projects here as well. So let's select an AAC template now. Blank, empty, I don't want anything. And at the moment we do not want starter content. And let's disable ray tracing for now, because enabling ray tracing would take some time. So let's make a new folder. Call it 4th. May the 4th be with you. But I'm kinda late now. So 4th room. Is that even correct? Let's just do it. 4th room. Yeah. And 4th room UE. Or if we do this dot max open folder. If you don't know what I just did, by the way, like pressing Ctrl twice like this, there is this amazing tool called Listari. Yeah, this tool, I use it to find files on my computer really fast, so it works really well. So if I want to find a project or something, I just double click Ctrl, then type whatever I'm looking for, and it will find it immediately. I never use search, so in this case it took me to my project here, so I have the project here. Here we can make a new folder, or actually there is no need. We can just click browse and just watch this. Here, this computer, my work drive, and then 4th room, the folder we just made, which is this guy, right? Well, what I like about Listray something, if I click on my Windows Explorer where I have my whatever path selected, and then I just click back on wherever I want, it boom, take you there directly. I love it. Save you so much time. There is no need to make new folder because we are already in a folder, so let's just give it 4th room and create a project. It's okay. Questions time. Let's see what's up. Shahid, I'm good, how are you? I'm great, thank you so much. My Ramadan is going good, thank you. I hope your Ramadan is going good as well. Genesis Gaming, Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you? I'm great, Habibi. How are you? Wehu, I will see you soon, buddy. Good luck with your game. So, Badal, Or Twinmotion to Unreal Engine 4. Yes, that is also planned. Tutorials on Twinmotion to Unreal Engine 4. Stay tuned for that. It's actually, I'm doing something this weekend, so perhaps in the upcoming 2 weeks there might be tutorial on Twinmotion to Unreal Engine workflow. And yeah, questions? Jamin, my man. Hey buddy, it's really good to see you live. Thank you. Hope everything is going great. Thank you. Please, when you are making tutorial for Interior Interactive, start and exit menu. We can try something today. If you stick around, I will see how we can make menu today. No problem. Mahmoud Fadal, Yahya bro, good day my man. Thank you buddy, good day to you too. I love your streams, I always get so many great tips. Thank you so much. I always learn from you guys. Sometimes in yesterday's stream, I asked so many questions to you guys and I learned so much from you. So it's a give and take relationship, I think, which is amazing. Now, we made our new project inside of Unreal. Sorry, we made our new Unreal Engine project. Now, you may ask if, well, I think all of you know, how do we export our project? Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. I'm glad you're learning as well from the streams. Guys, it makes me happy knowing that you are learning from these streams. So thank you so much for your kind words. Brett, back to your question. So in your opinion, what percentage of clients are willing to pay for VR Archviz walkthrough versus still renders only are fast and helpful enough? It's still growing. I still think virtual reality at this point is still for early adopters. So because VR needs higher end computer, unless you have like the Oculus Quest 2 that I don't have yet, but I would love to do stuff on it. It really depends. I can't speak with percentages, but I can think of how we present ourselves. So, I mean, when you present yourself as a guy, for example, or a studio who only do renders, it's not the same when you present yourself as someone or a service who help this client sell their apartments or developments or help them take better design decisions uh, as a problem solver. So the thing in business, when you want to focus on like what percentage or whatnot, try not so you can also ask for better pricing in general, right? So try not to focus or like present yourself as many of us does. Like I've been doing that. Hey, I specialize in 3D modeling and texturing and rendering. No, I specialize in helping you taking better design decisions, saving money on building your project, and also uh, giving you a final package, whether for VR or pixel stream or whatever, to help you deliver this experience to the potential customers who might buy all of these apartments or investors or whatnot. So that's something to consider. But the percentage to answer your question again, the percentage of people who want VR is lower because it's still relatively new. But day by day, it's increasing, and yeah, always focus on how you present yourself. That's for everyone else, of course, not for you, Brett. And for you too, why not? And for me. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about White Google. Let me do this, guys. Sorry. It's killing my eyes too. And sorry about that again, but there is this. Just enable the direct reader mode. We should be good. Okay, now it's time to export our project from 3ds Max, okay, to Unreal. How do we do that? You can export with FEX or you can use DataSmith. DataSmith, if you go to Google, search for DataSmith, depending on what tool you are using. So in our case, it's 3ds Max. We download the exporter. If you're using SketchUp or Revit or any other tool, you can download the exporter for the tool you are using, especially the CAD tools. So we have Rhino here, SketchUp, Revit, Graphisoft, yeah, and so on. Just download the exporter, and once you download the exporter, when you go to File and go to export. For my data.math exports, I am used to the fact of I have a dt underscore temp because I clean this folder every now and then. You can see there are so many things going on here. I can simply delete all of them later. So it's my temp folder for data.math exports. So let's make a new folder and call it architecture. As you know, guys, I still didn't do anything to my project yet. I didn't rename anything. I didn't give UV mapping to anything. I didn't do anything. I'm just working, trying to find mistakes today, and we will learn together how we can solve them. All right? It's my pleasure, my guys. All right, let's go back to Unreal here. We exported our project, and let's put on some music again. Music, today you are not allowed to stop. Thank you very much. Let's make a new folder. I am used to make a folder structure. I always start with underscore then projects, and then I make a new folder inside my projects and call it fourth room. Let's make a new folder, call it maps, and a new folder, call it dt. This is my folder structure, and I go through this in depth in the master class and as well in a video in one of the last streams. But what I like about this folder structure, because it's called projects, not project. It's imagine. Should I go into this in detail? Doing this, when you migrate from a project to project, it will help keeping things organized. So not when when you have so many projects and you migrate so many things, your Unreal editor here will become a disaster. So try always to have the same exact folder structure every single time. Alright? Now in maps, let's make a new map by right clicking in the content browser. So that's a level, not a map, but I call it map, and let's call it map. Double click this guy, click save selected. So DT stands for data.math, Ganja. It's a shortcut instead of writing data.math. So Vectorworks, do we have data.math exporter for Vectorworks? No. But what if we go back a sec, and do we see any Vectorworks here? I don't know. There are all of these extensions, and there are in Cinema 4D example, or in case of Cinema 4D, for example, there is no exporter you can download, but Unreal Engine can download native Cinema 4D files, and the same could be true for other tools. So that's that. So reasons to use Unreal Engine for Archviz. You can interact with what you create. So pictures, they can never deliver the same message as when you walk inside what you're building. So if it's a picture or a video, it's not the same when you put the VR headset and walk around what you're developing. That's one of the reasons. Juju, Archviz. The other reason is it's real time. Everything you make in Unreal Engine is just real time, so there is no need to wait for any rendering, and that's that. Ray tracing is getting really good. That's that. And what else? Guys, give us reasons in the chat. Don't leave it to me too. All of us should act like evangelists. So actually that's a great question, Juju, Archviz. Guys, chat, all of you, why do you think should anyone learn Unreal Engine to create Archviz projects? Do you have good reasons you can provide here in the chat? Feel free to write. I would love to hear your opinion on this. Now, when we exported our project, and here we are back in Unreal Engine, when we started with the AEC template, I will show you what's different from other templates. For example, data.math here is enabled by default, and in lights we have HDRI backdrop, sun and sky, and many other options are enabled by default. So this saves you this saves you time. So instead of starting a new template that is not AEC, and then you don't have DataMath, then you have to go to plugins in the settings menu, then search for DataMath and enable all of these. So all of these are enabled by default: the Cinema 4D importer, the CAD importer, and the DataMath importer. So the CAD importer could work with Vectorworks, hopefully. I honestly don't know. I never used Vectorworks. And the other example is the HDRI backdrop and the sun and sky, the sun position calculator. They're also enabled. So many settings are enabled by default. Now, we made a new level and we still have nothing in our project, so it's time to import what we just exported, right? So let's locate our export file, which is... Where you at, boy? Fourth room, this guy. Did I write architecture correctly? I keep messing up this. Yes, good. I'm learning. So let's select this and let's set a location to save it. And this is why I make DT, because the folder, like, just to save my DataMath exports, imports in one place. So click save, and now all what we care about is the geometry. However, there is nothing else except for the geometry from our file, because there is no materials, no lights, no nothing. It's okay, let's disable everything. And from the advanced settings, here show advanced, the static mesh options, let's just set the moonlight mode resolution and the max light map resolution to 64. So when we bake light, it takes less time. Mahulkar Brothers. Hi, back to you too, my man. How was your week? Janja. Also, you can put plant and trees with are moving to create a nice feel. Yes, of course. The ambience. You know, like you can bring your projects to life. For example, again, this is a good example here. For example, this is a good example. This scene by the amazing Leon Tucker, these are amazing pictures. It's not Archviz, it's concept art, but imagine if this was alive. So if the train was moving, if there were people here, if the water is moving, is, you know, a sunset and whatnot. What if we made this in Unreal Engine? You know, how amazing such a design would look inside of Unreal. And the same for all of your architectural designs. And we already did this in Unreal Engine. And it is absolutely incredible to see such an incredible design coming to life inside of Unreal. So that's one of the main reasons, I believe. So that's a good one, Ganja. Kyok. Any solution to delivery? Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Kyok Anna. You sorry. I will read your question. Any solution to delivery high-res project to customer after package except pixel streaming? Any solution to deliver high-res project to customer after packaging except... So is your question, how can you deliver your project or a high-end project to your customer other than pixel streaming? If that's what you asked, it depends on who is your customer is, but for our case, in the past, some of our customers, when we make them high-end projects or like massive projects, it really depends. We used also to give them computers and VR headsets as a gift with the project. So that's one of the solutions, I guess. Andy. Awesome, Andy, thank you. Yeah. So, if buying your customer a computer is not an option and you don't want to use pixel streaming, then your customer must have a good computer or a decent computer, or your project must be like really optimized, so it can run on lower end computers. I hope this answers your question, because honestly, if your customer does not have a good computer, that's one of the downsides of this. So based on what project you are working with. Now, I will keep reading the chat, answering all of your questions. It's my pleasure, Andy. Thank you for asking that question. And we will continue working on our nice apartment here. And to update you what we are doing, again, did this? Oh, okay, sorry. Wow, 40 people. Hi to all of you. To all of you who are new here, we are making this apartment today. If you go to Archdaily, one of the amazing guys here asked this question: how did you get the plans of this apartment? For all of you who want to practice architecture, if you go to Archdaily, almost 99% of the projects, especially the ones you like, hopefully, have the plans. So today we're making this, and let's see how it goes. So technically we finished 3D modeling. When we exported this, that's a good thing that happened here. I will show you something in a moment, guys. So now when we imported our data.math file, Ctrl+Shift+S to save everything, there is absolutely nothing because there is no lights. And data.math will create a data.math scene actor for us that contains all the meshes. And if you have in 3ds Max, if you have in 3ds Max the exposure control enabled, like now, so for example here we have a physical camera exposure control enabled, I'm gonna disable it. It will also export a post-process volume for you. So data.math does a good job exporting your scene. However, the problem with this, sometimes you don't see it, and you go ahead and create your own post-process and like enable it, make it infinite. So let's add a sun and all this good stuff. So the first thing I do when I make new project, I actually go to cinematic, visual effects, add a post-process volume, just like we did. Then exposure, I enable the exposure compensation, and the min and the max EV, I set them both to 1. So I disable the auto exposure. I hate auto exposure. And I go all the way down where it says infinite extent, unbound, and I check this. That's 1. Now we're good. Auto exposure is off. From the lights tab, directional light will emulate the sun. So if you want sun inside of your project, it's avoid the directional light. Click and drag to have one. Then skylight. Skylight will capture the distant parts of your scene and apply that as lighting on your level. We will see what that means in a second. Once we have the sun and the skylight, we still need some atmosphere around us. In Unreal Engine, I think in 425 or 424 and above, we have something, the physically accurate sky, which is absolutely amazing. So if you go now to place actors, visual effects, I like this music, it's so meditative, I should speak slower. On the visual effects here, we have sky atmosphere. So if we drag that, nothing happens. It's because on our directional light, we need to go to where it says atmosphere and cloud. This is in Unreal Engine 426. So if you're using Unreal Engine 425, you will not find this, but you will find this option that says atmosphere sunlight. If you are lazy, like me, you don't want to scroll all the way down, you can just search for it. So if you search here for atmosphere sunlight, enable this, and now we have a sky. Now, do you remember when I mentioned the exposure control here? It was this, and I disabled it, and we disabled the auto exposure here, but our scene looks pretty dark, and it's not supposed to look that dark. It's because what was that sound? Oh, thank you for subscribing. I'm using Streamlabs just like yesterday, and like nice. Whoa, another subscription. Nice. Guys, by the way, help me by hitting that like button, destroy that like button so we can reach more people. I would appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. I can't read the names because I have one monitor. Going back to our topic, so now if we delete this global exposure guy, tells you, hey, if you delete this auto exposure guy, you will break the reference in your data math actor. We tell it, hey, I don't care, go away. And now our scene is slightly brighter based on the settings we have here in the auto exposure stuff, you know, the exposure. Where is the lower hemisphere? Why is completely dark? I mean, come to the dark side, they have cookies. It's a trap, don't go. Well, for that, you need to add an exponential height fog. So if you click and drag exponential height fog, now we have the lower hemisphere basically, not dark anymore. You can see the camera is moving very fast now. I'm right-click my mouse button to look around for those of you who are completely new here. And if you press ASDW, you will like walk around your scene, right? Q to go down, E to go up, but it's so fast. And what if you are also lazy like me? You don't want to go all the way up here to slow it down, you know, and like, you know, then bring it back. You can, with the scroll, if you scroll down, it will slow down the camera movement without going here. So scroll up to go faster, scroll down to go slower, just like that. So, wow, there is so much shot. Xavier, hey buddy, Brewski, it's good to see you. Andy, thank you so much, it's my pleasure. You are cool, man, thank you, Long. Technology Tech, hello, please shout me, please. Technology Tech, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good day, a good week. I hope all of you guys are having a great week. I'm excited about the weekend stuff, so I got you, homie. Let's continue where we at. Xavier, how are you, buddy? I miss you, man. All of you who are new here, there's a link in the description to join us on our Discord community, by the way. 800 amazing people and growing, so go ahead, join us now. Alright, now, when you make a new project, what do? We need to organize our word outliner, and in the word outliner, basically, here lives everything we see in our 3D viewport, alright? So, it's a good idea to keep this guy organized so we can control our scene better. So now I'm gonna right click, make a new folder, and call this guy lighting. And then I will add anything that has to do with lighting to that. And then I'm gonna make a new folder and call it meshes. So I can add the architectural meshes to it. And it's dark, right? It's like there is sun, but why it's dark? So let's direct the sun. Let's look at our reference. Let's overwrite the save here. It's my pleasure, Technology Tech. Sandeep Patil, Hindi me boy bihai. I didn't understand. Ganja, you can make the light even easier if you go in the upper tab under window and select environment light mixer. You are absolutely right. But I like to show just the very basics first, but then we can go to the light mixer. And I have a confession to make. I have never tried light mixer yet. So today I think we can try it and we can learn together. So where was it? Let me read. So under tab, window and select. So here's window and environment light mixer. Yes, create atmosphere. Nice. If only. Yeah, I think I had to use this long time ago, but here we are. So today I'm gonna learn the environment light mixer together. This is why I love streaming, guys. So let's put this guy on the side and we'll come back to it in a moment. And thank you, Ganja. I appreciate the tip. Alright, let's bring some sun into our project here. So we can rotate it. If you press G, you can enable and disable or toggle the game mode. So this is what we see in our editor. And when you press G again, this is what everyone will see when you pack your project. Alright? Let's rotate. So rotating the light like this is one of the ways. One other shortcut is pressing Ctrl L and holding Ctrl L. So Ctrl L, if you move your mouse on the left or the right, you can rotate the sun. And if you move your mouse up or down, you can also rotate the sun. Try, if you are new to the Ctrl L shortcut, try not to move your mouse left and right, up and down at the same time, because this is so confusing. All right, it's so hard to get right, like when moving your mouse like this. You see, even me, I can't get it right. So left and right, like this, up or down. Whoop, there we go. Now, so far so good, but why we have sun here and why here is completely black? Why? Well, dynamic lights or lights in general, if they are not baked, they do not support GI, the global illumination, the light mass. And let me show you a picture to demonstrate what I mean. So join us on Discord, because I know I said so many times there will be live streams, training sessions, there will be, and I prepared these especially for these training sessions. Hey, Decorex! How are you, buddy? It's good to see you. So, your question is, hi, any advice on an artist that would get into Archviz but don't have background? I have been trying with companies, but you hit walls if you don't have Archviz background or can show Archviz stuff. Honestly, the best tip I can give to any artist who is starting right now is to work on your portfolio. So, here's a fun fact. I'm teaching architecture. I've been working with architecture for the past 6 years or something, even more than that. But I never went into architectural school. I don't have a architectural degree. I suck. How I learned reading architectural plans and like all of this from my exes and from guys I work with. So I surround myself with people who know architecture, and I try to learn from them and ask them questions. And I would call myself, not to be like sound cocky, but I would call myself someone who really understands visualizing architecture and making digital twins, and like I can read almost anything in architecture at this point, and I didn't go to school. So work on your portfolio. Your portfolio is more important than anything. I hope this helps you, Decorex, my man. And speaking of portfolios, all of you guys heard that Artstation joined forces with Epic Games. If you still want to learn stuff, the learning tab here is completely free for 2021. So everything you will see here is completely free. There is this amazing tutorial, by the way, for free by Weasel. One great guy. This guy is absolutely incredible. And this is like really nice short tutorial on that. This with some other tutorials you can watch, you can learn from, and then you can work on your portfolio. So in Archviz, it's known Behance is one of the best websites to visualize your portfolio. Yes, so work on your portfolio whether on Behance or Artstation. And by the way, guys, here's a link to my Artstation. And that is the best tip I can give. So just do few projects, do them well, and you will find job almost in no time. I guarantee you that. Every time I publish, in the past and still up to date, every time I publish a new project, I share my work, I get discovered, I get customers, and I just keep getting opportunities. And it all started when I shared my very first project 6 years ago with Unreal Engine, which is this guy, Apartment in Izmir. So your portfolio, my man, go for it. Music, why did you stop? Let's go. Okay, let's go back to our Canva board. There is something I would like to demonstrate. So the light mass global illumination, because the dynamic lights in Unreal Engine, except for ray tracing, let's forget about ray tracing for now. They do not support secondary light, the GI light. We need to bake the light. So once you bake the light, your shadows goes from this to this. And this is exactly the same here. So now we have this preview and whatnot. It tells us, and like all this darkness here, hey, we need to bake our lights. And this is exactly why I made sure all of my static meshes have a lightmap resolution of 64. And if you want to take this one step further, so you can thank yourself, let's make it even 32. So it takes less time to bake the light. Because right now we don't want high quality bake. So once we set everything to the 64 or 32, let's click on build lighting only, and let's build the light. Designer Saifan, ray tracing or baked lighting, which is the good approach for Archviz project? Both. Right now the best approach to visualize your Unreal Engine architectural projects is bake your light and enable ray tracing for reflections and translucency and whatnot. Fully ray tracing, it's kinda hard now, like to achieve high frame rate unless you have like Quadro 8000 or something. And fully baked is, yes, it's very nice, but the reflections, translucency effects and whatnot, the raster is not as good as ray tracing. So the hybrid method, like using both, is the best approach. And that's exactly what we will be doing today. It's my pleasure, technology. So, Ganja, do you model the interior yourself or do you use assets? Whenever I have the opportunity to use assets, I use assets because they save me time. So I hope I understood your question correctly. So when it comes to a project like this, let's say this is my project, of course you cannot find an asset of your project, you have to make it. But when it comes to furniture and whatnot, it depends on the project. So we have a project that the furniture is like, hey, we need this, for example, Vitra furniture or whatever company, not this, which Vitra sofa, let's say. Yeah, am I in the right? Okay. Lucky. So we have Vitra. Yeah, Vitra is one of the examples, or one of 99. Lucky for us, or for everyone. When it comes to furniture, real world furniture, before you make it, go to the official website of that furniture, and many manufacturers provide you with the 3D files you need, so you can use them in your projects. It's true 99% of these assets are like CAD files and they got like really bad quality. So what I do in this case, I remodel them based on the files they give me. If I don't have time, so let's find an example here, which so the Boulder sofa, for example, I hate the sofa. We used it in one of the projects 2 years ago. This sofa, you can download the files. I think if you scroll down, we can find somewhere the CAD data for this Boulder sofa. Sometimes if you're lucky, the topology looks good. Sometimes if you're not lucky, the topology sucks. If you don't want to model, one of the best websites is 3D Sky. So let's say, what is this? Boulder sofa. So I go here, Boulder sofa, and there we go. There is the free models that sometimes they are good, sometimes they're not. And there are the pro models, and because the sofa is ugly, even this looks ugly. But let's go here without the search. Let's just something else. Like any model on this website is for $7, and imagine if you want to spend time modeling this, it would take you multiple hours, or you can get it for $7. So when possible to use assets, I use assets. Yeah, that's to answer your question on assets. Okay. Decorex, thanks for the tips. I have a nice portfolio, but I have been spending more time trying Archviz. Guess so. depending on what kind of work you are looking for, your portfolio or CV must be tailored for that position you are hoping to get. Okay, so that's very important. If you're looking for a job in the film industry, take away your Archviz stuff and keep only your film industry stuff. For example, guess trying to build up contacts and networking are extremely important. Like, more than 50% of my projects comes also from connections and contacts. And one of the best places online, especially these days, to build networks and connections is LinkedIn, guys. It's LinkedIn. We got so much opportunities from LinkedIn because the organic growth on it. My business partner Aragon, he used to be like ex-LinkedIn sales something, so he taught me so much about LinkedIn. It's amazing. Speaking of LinkedIn, also the links for my profile and the company profile are also below. And while we're at it, there you go. Add me on LinkedIn if you use it, guys. Hey, Amal, how are you? Ganja means weed in FT. So ganja farmer. Nice. I hope you're doing well, Amal. How is your week? Sandeep Patel, how to export Unreal Scene as APK for Android? Well, I don't know. I can ask Google for you. I have never exported anything for Android before because our projects were just way too large for Android. However, I don't think it's that hard. So there is always a place to start. UE4, Android, let's say Archviz, we're talking now. So there are so many results on that. There's this Udemy course, I don't know. Alright, so let's say UE4 Android, so we can go to the official documentation. So if you want a place to start, I think this is the place to start. So setting up Android SDK and NDK for Unreal, beginner. This should be helpful to get you started on exporting your projects to Android, Sandeep. Oh, I closed the chat. Give me a second, guys. Wow, 50 people. Hello to all of you. Scared me, guys. I thought we were like 20 or something. Again, to all of you who are new here, we're doing this apartment today in Unreal Engine and answering your questions. So the main topic is actually answering your questions while we're working on the apartment. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Nice. Any more questions? So where did you change the quality again from 64 to 32? That's a great question, Ganja Farmer. Now every time I'm gonna say your name, I'm gonna smile. By the way, we finished building the light, and you can see now the complete black areas now are not that black. We do have like bounce light in a sec, but what we need to do now, because we cannot see it, is actually we need to click on our post-process volume before I answer your question, buddy, and increase the exposure compensation. And now we can see, okay, it's not completely black anymore because we built our light. So going back to our documentation here, once you bake the light, your secondary lights, because you know lights are photons hitting everywhere, we should be good to go. And where I changed the light map resolution is when you click on any static mesh, so it has to be static mesh of course. If you scroll to where it says lighting, it will be this very first option. So override light map res, it was 64, now it's 32. Obviously now the shadow here, like what is this? What is this? We need to improve on this, right? Okay. Before we increase the light map resolution, guys, there is something very important I want to show you. Now, let's take a screenshot, okay? So with F9 you take screenshot and it saves to your project, to this is our project, saved screenshots windows, and there we go. Now before we increase the lightmap resolution to 512 or 1024 or 700 or whatever, because now if we visualize our lightmap density, obviously we need to increase our lightmap resolutions because this density suck. It's bad. It's so low. What can we do before we increase the density? Well, if you go back to whatever software you're using and select your floor. So right now we want to increase the lightmap resolution on our floor because the shadow here looks so bad, right? Before you increase the density, one of the things I really recommend doing is detaching your meshes strategically. Wait, what do I mean with that? Well, I'm gonna select this face of the floor, detach it, alright? And I'm gonna call this guy floor. And the parts we don't see of the mesh, which is this part and the lower part, I'm gonna leave them alone because we don't see them. And what I will be doing now is exporting again. So I'm gonna export my project, click yes, click OK, and we took screenshot, good. I'm gonna right click my datasmith export file, and if you don't know how to locate your files quickly, if you click on any static mesh, press Ctrl B, it will locate it for you in the content browser. So we will go to the geometries. Now go one back step, and this is the whole file. And this is the datasmith export. Right click and click re-import. Let's do that. It will ask us to set the lightmap resolution, and the min and max is set to 64. The min can be set to 32. So let's set it to 32. Click import. And let's select our floor again. Actually, let's select everything. Ctrl Shift A to select all similar actors. So when you go to select, there is this shortcut, Ctrl Shift A, to select all static mesh actors. Alright, and let's set everything to 32 again because we still want everything as 32. So this image here, the floor is on 32. Cool. Let's save everything and let's click build light. And let's see your questions. Zultan, I once packaged for Android, only needed to follow the documentation. Nice. So it's that easy? Okay, light bake is finished. Let's take another screenshot and let's compare our shadows. Obviously, both of them are super bad still, but this is the first image where we had everything in as one mesh, the floor. This one looks slightly more defined, slightly more defined, but we didn't have to increase the lightmap resolution. So this one looks better without increasing the lightmap resolution by just detaching the meshes. And I will show you how a finished project of my projects looks like, how I detach meshes to optimize my lightmap resolutions without going like crazy. Because if you select everything and then set the lightmap resolution to a crazy number, like whatever, high numbers, you can easily pump up the scale of the size of your project to 5 gigabytes or something. Because after all, light maps here are textures that contain the lighting data. So let me show you here what I mean. And it's getting assigned on your mesh, right? Because we unwrap our mesh, and this unwrapping here, this UV space, it's where our light map is, and it's a texture after all. So if you have more UV space to work with, your texture obviously will just look better. So that's the first step, and now we can see there are all kinds of disasters here. But the first thing here is this ugly lens flare. Let's disable that, shall we? So if you select your post-process volume, go to where it says lens, the main part, then go to lens flare, intensity, and set it to 0 and hit enter hard so it feels good. Let me read any questions. What video card would you get for Unreal and Ray Tracing? If I could get a video card for Unreal and Ray Tracing, I would get 3090, but now I have 1080 Ti, and it's not good for ray tracing, of course, but when I export my cinematic projects, I enable ray tracing and I go to sleep while it's recording and whatnot. I think 2080 is good, 2070, 2060, all these guys. Any RTX card is a good card for Unreal and ray tracing, depending on your projects, of course. If you're working with massive projects, I would get Quadro 8000. But Jimmy, if you can tell me what is the scale of your projects in general. If it's a project like this, I think 2060 is good. It should be enough. Sandeep, bro, I want to learn exporting interactive render of interior as APK file for mobile presentation. I sent a link above for you, my man, on how to get you started with the Android stuff. I wish I could help you with that, but I have never exported anything for Android before. So I'm sorry. Ah, May, hey, it's good to see you. May, we can perhaps do some environment today for this house. I can show you how to export things with Quixel and what you mentioned today. It's good to see you here too. How is your week, May? Are you excited about the weekend? So technology, bro, are you telling like we are all your friends? Yes, all of you are my friends. All of you, brothers. Zubair, I'm a civil engineer. Let's do this. I'm a civil. There is also chat here. I completely forgot there is a chat here because I have one monitor. So I'm gonna read like this. So I'm a civil engineer, had to change my field due to lack of opportunities. Happens to all of us. And physical demand, had to work. Wow. No one should work 12 to 15 hours a day, buddy. I hope you are happier now. When the war happened in Syria like 10 years ago, I used to work that much too, so no one should work that much. It's inhumane, you know. But Archviz, hell yeah for that. Unreal Engine. At least if you spend 12 hours working, you will spend it happy, so that. I'm glad you're doing better now, Zubair. So, Juan, what is your processor? My processor is Ryzen 1800X. It's like 4 years old processor or something. It's not the best, but it works. It works. Guys, if you can give me just a minute, I have to use the bathroom real quick, so Call of Duty. So give me just a minute. Be right back. And let me also put this. I've been waiting so long to use this. So be right back in 2 minutes. 1 minute. Sorry about the noise, Mike. Okay, guys, I'm back. Hello. And let's do this. Let's go back to our project. Did the music stop again? Music, you should not stop. I like this Joseph Beck music. It's so meditative. All right. Let's see. Any questions? So this is, we were talking about the furniture. Let's close. And let's see. Let's close this. To all of you who are new here, we are remaking this project I saw on Archdaily that I absolutely fell in love with. We're making it in Unreal today and answering your questions on Unreal. So if you have any questions, write them in the comments. We will answer them and work. And let me take a second again telling you about our sponsor. Our sponsor today for this stream is us. It's your boy Yahya. It's our masterclass. So in this stream, if you go below a little, there is a link for our masterclass, and there is also the discount code Unreal Community. So if you use this, you get 20% off. This is how you support us make more videos and more live streams like this. I'm done. Let's go back to work, guys. Now, let's open back 3ds Max and let's discuss some other problems we have in this project. If we have any. Well, we have a lot. So one thing you need to take care of right now, this floor, when you send your Unreal to Unreal Engine, your projects, this is not good, because this is very large surface covering your project all the way, and no, this should be like detached on multiple rooms. So you know, so you can have like the floor for this room alone, for this room alone, for the living room alone, and for this room. So this floor can be detached into like 5 or 6 meshes, so the shadows won't look like this, even if you have like low map resolution, because you don't want to set this to like 4K or something, you know, like, because it's just crazy and it would take so much time to render and so much memory and all this. So that's that. And the same is true for walls and ceilings and basically everything. I will walk you again what we did. So we have our plans. We used them to track our walls, floor and ceiling. All is good. Now let's open the other file I have that is like more finished of this project. And let's see what questions we got here. Jimmy, you small scale interior projects and exterior homes, small scale. Yeah. For small scale projects, I'm sorry I just got your question now, but I think 2060 should be good. Any low-end RTX card should be good for small-scale projects. And of course, you can always do some optimization on your projects as well. So, May, what's the best method to import your walls, floors, static meshes? Do we need to unwrap them all or bring them as DataSmith and let DataSmith do the work? Let DataSmith do the work whenever possible. That's a great question. So, here, I didn't do technically anything. I just let DataSmith do the unwrapping for me. And there is an option that is important, guys. So when you import with DataSmith, just make sure generate lightmap UVs is enabled. It's enabled by default, but if you disable this, we won't have we can't, it won't bake the light. We would see everything messed up because we did not unwrap anything in 3ds Max. And in the good old days before DataSmith, we used to use scripts and tools and whatnot. Unwrapping meshes used to be painful, but now thanks to DataSmith, we do nothing. It does the job for us. For Archviz projects, at least for me, or that's my workflow. So this is the new level, the final level, or the final home. Let me hide the... So let's just put this, instead of floors, let's put it in the ceiling. Let's make a new layer. Call it ceilings, and let's lower the music just a little. Like so. Alright. And let's double click. One thing I am really careful about is renaming my meshes. Like having layers and properly named meshes is extremely important, so it just makes it your life easier. I mean, this is a nightmare. Box 1, box 5, box whatever. No, don't do that. And in naming abbreviations, this is an old naming abbreviation we used to call static meshes SM underscore then whatever. So if you want to learn more about naming abbreviations, if you search UE4 naming conventions, abbreviations, whatever, there is this from on GitHub from Alar, this style UE4 style guide. I'm gonna post this for you, and it says here, I'm gonna read your messages guys in a moment, just let me finish this. So skeletal meshes SK underscore Bob, materials M, it always starts with M. So here's the example is Bob, let's say. Textures diffuse albedo, because if you're working on something to publish on the marketplace, for example, or to give to another team, or you're working within a team, these are important naming guides you need to stick to. Like all the community agrees on this. So for static meshes, for example, it starts S underscore, then the name of that static mesh, then underscore, then 0, 1, 0, 2, and so on. It's a great read here, and it's not complicated. Yes, there is so much information, but it's really easy information. So in this case, S underscore ceiling underscore numbered start with 1, and there we go. And the same for the floor, which is just one floor now, and we can actually detach it. So S underscore floor 2, and this is 1. Alright, let's read some questions. If you are using 1080 Ti's, wait, so May, regarding your question on Datathmeth, we're doing this exactly now, so just be patient. I will export all of this and keep doing what we're doing. Of course Datathmeth will do all the job for us. I'm just showing you how to prepare your exports. So namings are very, super important, and the next thing is the UV mapping, but give me a second on that. So if you're using 1800X, so my i3 7020 should be fine. Yeah, it should be fine. To be honest, I don't use my CPU to bake the light. Now I'm just using it just to show you how things work, but later I will show you how to enable the GPU light mask. So if you have an NVIDIA card, you have you can bake the lights so much faster with the GPU light mask. It's really good. Oh, sorry about the music. Let's lower it a little. Give me a second, I'm still new to this. Is this good now, the music? I hope if the music is still too loud, let me know. Decorex, any chance of showing how the Datathmeth override works? Been trying to understand how this works. Also when using instances, do you assign the material to the mesh in the DT import folder? Thanks. Let me understand your question. So any chance of showing how the Datathmeth override works? So where is the Datathmeth override? You mean when we re-import or do something? We will see in a moment, Decorex, or if you can explain better for me, because honestly I did not really understand. However, for when you have many instances of one mesh, you need to open the geometry or in the static mesh editor like so, and then assign the material here. And let's say there is 200 instances of this wall across your project. When you assign it here, the material will be assigned across all of the instances on your project. So that's how you assign the material on the instances. However, there is a better way that I did not try yet. It's called data prep. So when you right click anywhere, there is an option we have for data prep asset. And when you double click this guy, you have a recipe here. So it's a pipeline, let's say step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on. So I never used it yet, but let's say, can we get name or something? So object name, for example, as a string. And let's see material. Let's try it now together. All right. So contains, let's see, box, and let's make a new material here, and let's call it new M base, and let's make a new folder here. In my case, I have a master library. It's always start _vrd. So I'm just gonna like teach you how to make a master library. So I'm gonna call this materials. So mbase, let's say, and let's open that material. Click V to create a vector parameter, call it color, and while we'll add it, S twice, one for roughness, and let's set it on the default value of 0.5 and 1 for metallic, and on the default value of 0, and let's set the color to something like whitish. I have 64 gigabytes of RAM. Hey Powell, how are you? It's good to see you. It's been a while. Welcome to the stream. So technology tech, RAMs is one of the important things on your projects. So I have 64 gigabytes of RAM. So I don't know how this works, but let's see if we can make it work. So the data prep, execute. We can take a look at it in the future stuff. But what data prep does, answering your question, Decorex, if you want to automate the process of like making your life easier with data math, data prep is the answer. And there is a tutorial on data prep from Epic, like a new one I saw on the Learning Hub. I will share a link with you on that. This is not new, but this is also good. So this is the official documentation if you'd like to take a read, and this is a very good tutorial on how to use data prep. I saw it, but I never had the time to test it. So this is what I call negative learning. Don't watch videos without applying what you learn in the same day, or you are just consuming, you know. And I am guilty of this mistake. I watch videos, I watch tutorials, and I don't apply what I learn, and I forget. But this is a great tutorial on how to use data prep. Thank you, Kanja. I'm glad you like these tips. So, Zubair, this can be a tricky question. How much? I like tricky questions. How much can a person make with Unreal Engine Archviz? So it depends on a project to project, client and quality that I can get. But how much can I assume of lower end and the middle? That's a good question. There are projects. Let me lower the music just a little because I think it's loud on me. There are so many ways to calculate how to work on project, but I think it mainly comes down to how much time are you going to spend on this. And let's say 7 days, 5 days, 10 days, 1 year, and is the time worth it? So I can't answer this now because it's really kind of complicated, but I would say like 2,000 euros, 1,000 euro, 3,000 euros. But I will give you here's an example. There is a project we did a year and a half ago, and we took on it 40,000 euros, okay? But it was a loss for us. Even with 40,000 euros on an Archviz project, it was a loss for us, and we should have asked for more. That was not more than 2 years, 1 year. I can't remember exactly when, but why it was a loss? Because it took so much longer than expected. There were so many revisions than expected. I was still learning the business side of of what we do. And guys, it's really important that not only like you learn Unreal Engine to do projects, but learning the business side of what you do and how to represent yourself as a problem solver, or like in the business world, is like equally important. Unless you are fine with working not as a freelancer in a studio or something, but if you want to be a freelancer or to start your own business, learning the business side of it is like equally even more important, I can argue. And yeah, so I hope this answers your question, Zubair. I don't know, but like it's a complicated topic, and I would like to dig more into this like in the future. Like one of my dreams is to teach people how to use Unreal Engine and how to build their business or career and improve on it as well, so they don't make the same mistakes I did, or like I don't know, just grow together. Because working, I had nightmarish clients, nightmarish projects, and it's fine. We learn from them. It's completely fine. But for how long will we like will be keep learning? Especially when you hate like what is the word for that? What is the word for that? I forgot the word. I forgot the word. Okay. So, for an apartment like this, if I could give a couple of thousand, let's say, I don't know, but it really depends. It depends on so many value settings. It's one of the main questions I ask. Hey, Mr. Customer, I'm very happy to work with you, but can you please tell me why are you doing this project? So, for example, let's say there is a very big project, but it's for a student for their graduation event or something. It's not the same for a development company who are doing a similar project to sell to investors or something. So the why is important, the scale of the project is important, the how many revisions is important. It's just, I think these are things differ from person to person, and I hope I can achieve or get to answers that everyone can use someday, or like a guide that people can use and go from or something, so it can be easier to calculate prices. But honestly, it's a complicated topic, and I suck in the business side of it. Not that much, but this is why I have a business partner, for example, who is his sole purpose is focused on the business development and negotiations and whatnot. Speaking of negotiations, if you want a book that can change your life and how you negotiate better deals and everything, honestly, there is this book by, I call this a business book, Never Split the Difference. This is an amazing book. I recommend it to everyone watching the stream if you want to learn how to negotiate better deals and like how to negotiate better everything. Because he says, Chris Voss, your boy here, life is negotiation. That's it. So that's a great book. I recommend to everyone. Really. Read it. Get it. Alright. Questions. Do we have any questions? Oh, we do have questions. I hope this answers your question, Zubair. So, Jimmy, do you know of anywhere to get video card that honestly I don't know? I have 1080 Ti and I have the same question for you. So if you know where to get a good GPU that is not overpriced, please let me know. Here in Turkey, you can find GPUs that are 3 times more expensive, which is crazy. I was about to drop an F-bomb. I'm trying not to do that. Decorex. So it's when you go to DataSmith import file, select the mesh, and then go to DataSmith override. Okay, then I'm doing it right away. Instance, thank you. Sorry. So the thing we were looking for when we go to DataSmith import file, which is this guy, then select mesh and go to DataSmith override. So re-import with a new file, open source and whatnot. I don't think I am looking in the right location, am I? And here there is data. Well, The overrides, is it like the mesh settings? I honestly don't know how to answer this, Decorex, but I would take a look at it. Hiwa, hello, how are you? How can I import an island in my file to the app? What app? Please elaborate. So, Ganja Farmer, how big was the project for 40,000? It was a full, big, massive building with hundreds of apartments, but we didn't do hundreds of apartments, but it's like massive project. It took like few months to finish and another few months just on the feedback, and the government want to change something, and the customer want to change something, and the architectural company want to change something, and it was nightmare. So I'm not complaining. I learned so much, and I think the prices we pay for these lessons are 100% worth it, because I look at every loss as an opportunity we can learn from. And if I didn't F-bomb up, so if I didn't fuck up, if I don't make mistakes, I will not learn, you know? So that's fine. Powell, I was to ask this question on Discord, but here you are online, so why not here, in your opinion, which may be the best value of focal length of camera capturing interior scene in Unreal Engine, sir? Thank you. Well, let's add a camera to our project, and the best answer to your question is actually learn photography in general. So if you're to take pictures of this apartment, of your apartment, which camera would work the best? So there are like the standards. There is 35 works fine, there is a 50, there is the 18th. So now we have like, let's add a camera here, and it's a trial and error thingy depending on your project, because here we have the freedom of choosing our lenses, but in real world we don't have that many options. So the current focal length is not really correct. I would like to get the realistic lenses. I would suggest going here between these guys, so we can select 12. So if we have a 12 now, let's just detach this. So this is our camera with the 12 focal length. Does it look good for this shot? I think it looks perfect. For another shots, for this shot here, so look at these pictures. They all have like super wide camera angle. None of them is like 50 or 85 or anything. It's because it's a small apartment. But when you are in a very large apartment, or you want like cinematic shots or like really zoomed in shots, then you need to change your lens settings. And for that, I don't recommend changing your lens from here. I recommend changing it from here. So 12, 50 if needed. So 50, if this is 50, if we are taking a shot of an object on this table, even though we cannot see it now, sorry about that, 50 is good, right? And so on. So that's to answer your question, Powell. And on Discord, share some screenshots if you like, and we can, with multiple angles, focal lengths, and we can see which one is the best. So there is no the best answer. Dylan, what are you making? Hello, Dylan. We're making this. To all of you who are new here, there is this apartment on Archdaily. So go to archdaily.com if you want to find some inspiration. I go here to find inspiration. I saw this by Fran Silvestre Arquitectos. I love it. And I saw the plans, and today we're doing this. So you remind me that we need to go back to the project. 64 people watching, nice. Hi to all of you. Ahmad Zakaria, thank you, man. Really love your tutorials. Thank you so much. Sandeep, bro, this live stream will be available. Yes, it will be available for later. All live streams will be available for later, and there will be a shorter version of the making of this apartment without me talking all the time. That will also be available later. There will be actually so many videos available later once we finalize working on our masterclass, because right now I'm fully busy working on the Unreal Engine masterclass. Once I finish that, we will come back full force on YouTube, and that's now we are doing live streams. It's because it's easier to interact with you guys and to do things together, learn together, than like editing videos from scratch. So yes. All right, no more questions. Let's get back to work. And guys, for the next 10 minutes, I will focus on what we have here. All right. And let's put music again. And where is the music? Okay, let's start this. All right. So this is the old apartment. We made a quick block out. It's like it sucks. Their UV sucks. Look at this. When you make the 3D modeling and without like applying any, we just send this directly from DataSmith to Unreal Engine, from 3ds Max to Unreal Engine, we can see there are all types of errors here. So to avoid these in our Archviz projects, and this is to answer your questions now, May, my process in exporting such projects is I select all my architectural elements and give them unified UVW mapping. So let's hide now all the shapes and let's select everything that is architectural. I'm just making sure that everything is architectural here. There is nothing like sofa or something, nothing organic, I mean. So okay, now floors, walls, closets, doors, everything we can just unhide all them just in case. Control A everything, and we can go to assign a UVW box map modifier. And the length, width, height, I am used to, or the team here at VR Division, we always use 100 by 100 by 100, meter by meter by meter. Alright, I think I already have one. Yes, I do. Why meter by meter by meter? Well, because all textures are power of 2, and 99% of Quixel textures, like from Bridge, are whether 2 meters by 2 meters or 1 meter by 1 meter. So we have the same surface size across all the project. Okay, let's not download anything now. So it becomes easier for us to know how to scale up or down our textures based on what we need. So now everything is good to go. What we need to do next is exporting this. But before we export, let's just make on the walls layer here, let's make it just there we go. Just need to make this part so people don't fall down, because that would be bad. So let's set this to 90, I guess. Let's set this here and let's extrude. And notice guys, I did not do unwrapping, only box UVW box on the first UV channel. I did not touch the second UV channel. DataSmith will take care of everything for me. So now I'm going to click export and I'm going to save that over my old file, the same one called architecture. And if we click here, so let's put this back again, press Ctrl B to locate our export. We can play with data prep later. Now when we click right click our DataSmith export, click re-import, it will ask us, hey, all is good? All is good. We only want the geometry. Now we can see the mapping looks so much better, and yeah, we do have all the details we need and whatnot. Everything looks good. So the next step would be is quickly building our light. Lassie Lassie, hello, sorry I can't pronounce your last name. So you're doing Unreal Masterclass. Is it mainly for Archviz, or can I learn the basics of Unreal even? Yes, you will learn. I cover all the basics of Unreal Engine, the basics of PPR, the materials, cinematics, lighting, landscapes, basically everything. But why Archviz? Because how we can use all the tools of Unreal Engine in Archviz. There are two projects, interior project and exterior project. And big update coming to the masterclass for everyone who purchased it next week. And if you're interested, there is a link below with a discount code you can use called Unreal Community for 20% off. Now we're done. Thank you so much, by the way. Yeah, you can learn Unreal even if you don't do Archviz. But if you're looking to learn like filmmaking or like other things or world building, the masterclass is not for that. It's mainly focused on Archviz. But if you just want basics or like good stuff in Unreal, yeah, you can do that. I hope this answered your question, and thank you. So now, guys, let's start with the problems here. So what's up? Well, there's too much fog in our project here. So let's go back to lighting, exponential height fog, and let's just add another 0 here on the fog density, so we don't see that fog, you know. And the second thing we can do, because when we calculate light, when we build the light, there are lights bouncing off all over the place. Our surfaces are really dark, therefore our interior is also very dark. And if we look at our references, let's see what colors we have now so we can emulate them, at least to start with. So now I think we have two colors, white or sugary white, and we have like concretey floor something. This is something we can find now from Quixel library. And this white, let's also find something from Quixel library as well. So real quick, if you don't have Quixel Bridge, go to quixel.com, go to where it says products, and sign in with your Epic account and download Quixel Bridge. I think you can download it without signing in. Once you download it, sign in with your Epic account, and at the moment of today, we have 15,000 assets for free we can use inside of our Unreal Engine projects. That's so many assets. All of these are photo scanned assets, of course. If you're, I am sure you're familiar with this. Thank you so much, Lassie. My pleasure. So all of these assets, photo scanned, processed, super high quality, from 2K to 8K, the very good stuff. There are so many ways we can find assets. There are the collections. So when you click on collection, you can click on Archviz, for example, or environment or vegetation and whatnot. You can find that. Or let's say you can search, the search bar here is also like smart. So let's type white, see what we have, type surface if there's anything, and let's type stucco. There we go. So here, bright facade. If we enlarge this picture, I like this. Let's use it for interior design. Why not, guys? So let's download this. Hey, shared textures. How are you? Lassie, by the way, guys, because there is something. If you want to learn Unreal Engine, there is online Unreal Engine online learning. This place, guys, I am surprised that people still ignore this. Yes, I'm not doing myself a favor by announcing competition, but if you want to learn Unreal Engine for free, unrealengine.com online learning courses, I'm gonna put a link also in the description. There are so many amazing courses here you can also watch and learn from in VR, in Archviz, world building, basically almost anything. There's like very high quality tutorials from Epic themselves, you know. So that's that. And if you wanna support us, yes, the link is below. I am 15 years old game developer. Please support me. Well, it's great to meet another fellow game developers, especially the young ones. So guys, please support Dihon Studios. He's 15 years old, game developer. What game are you working on? Are you working on any games now? And Share Textures, how are you, buddy? Thank you so much. I really appreciate your testimonial. Okay, now when we downloaded our asset, how do we send it to Unreal Engine? Well, if you are installing Bridge for the very first time, just make sure it's set up correctly. So in Edit, Settings, you need to choose the library path, and let's close this. And in manage plugins, you need to download the Unreal Engine plugin. Alright? And what? Guys, I want you to meet someone. God. He also, like, this is the expert in Unreal Engine. Big fat boy. Hello. Say hello. Wanna sit? He will leave me in 2 seconds, but he's meowing, so he wants some attention. Yes. Good boy. His name is Harun. What? Wait, go. Let's continue. On the cog here, on the export settings, choose Unreal Engine on the export target, engine version 426 in our case, then the plugin location. So the plugin location, just locate the plugins folder inside Unreal Engine. You should be good to go. Once you do that, when we click export, give it a second, it will import directly. Yeah, I have one of the things I love about Istanbul is cats. So I have this guy for 3.5 years or something now. He's the best cat ever. Once we export from Quixel, it will do multiple things for us. It will create multiple folders. So 2 folders mainly, Megascans and Megascans presets or MS presets. This one contains the master materials. So if you open this master material, it has like material functions for you and the textures and whatnot. Everything is tidy, organized, very good. And the same here, the texture templates. And there is the Megascans folder. And surfaces for materials. This is the one we just exported. It comes with its textures and whatnot, and just click and drag to assign it onto your surfaces like this. It will compile shaders, so give it a few seconds. And here's something, guys. We will basically go to the mode where it says detailed lighting, and let's click on bookmarks, make a bookmark here and press F9, and now we will have our surfaces brighter. So when we build the light again, you will see how the global illumination will carry the information on these surfaces and scatter it around. So this should look so much brighter once we build the light again. So let's select all of our walls first. In the search bar, if you just type wall, that's one of the reasons I like to name my meshes. So just like that, you can select all of the walls immediately, you know, and then assign the texture immediately as well. So if you go back to our reference, this is not Stoko. These are what do we call them? Closets. They have wooden or like glossy material. So we can actually create that real quick, and we can perhaps find something in Megascans. So the base material we made earlier, let's make a new folder here, call it material or matte instance. So material instances. This is the material we made 10 minutes ago. In the base color, we have a vector parameter color, we have metallic set on 0, and we have roughness set on 0.5. So right click, create material instance, MI for material instance, and let's call it closet. And let's move it to the new folder, keeping things slightly organized. And now let's search for closet and select all of our closets like so. And for now, let's assign one material, even though some of these closets have different colors. Like this guy here, for example, if you remember from the cover photo, it looks like this, but that's fine. So let's double click our material instance and let's decrease the roughness. So we want roughness of 1, the value of 1, the surface is rough, and 0, it's not rough. So something like 2.2 or something, 0.3 should be fine for now, just to reflect some stuff. And let's look at our material here. So here we need grayish, concrete, polished texture. Let's see if we can find something here. So let's search for concrete. Hey, Don, thank you so much for subscribing. And let me read the chat, by the way, I completely forgot. Keshicha, hello, hope you're doing well. Sorry for not pronouncing your name correctly, still practicing. So, could you look into the curtain material problem I mentioned on Discord? That would really help. Yes, let's make one soon. The curtain problem, if you were using the GPU light mask, we need to use the CPU light mask, because the GPU light mask does not support translucent surfaces like SSS and whatnot. But for now I'm using the CPU light mask, so that's fine. We will take a look at that. We can add curtains here. So I got you. Any questions, my guys? Nice, Dihon Studios. Like when you were starting young, 15 years old, that's amazing, man. Good luck with your game. Start small and then step by step. Alejandro, hello. On Instagram, the account of Fran Silvestre answered that the floors are micro cemento. If that, oh, that really helps. Thank you. Nice. So let's see if we can just copy that micro cemento. Thank you so much, Alejandro. There is nothing here, but if we Google it, so we can understand a little bit about it. Nice. This is so useful, man. And this is what I love this industry. You keep learning around, like, about the world around you, you know, like, just amazing, right? Thank you, Alejandro, again. Share textures. Yeah, that's Haroon. Thank you, guys. He's a fat, big cat. I love him. All right. Nice. Thank you, Ian. I'm happy you like the stream. Yes, share textures. Currently, I live in Istanbul. I've been here for 5 years. And in Jazair, Algeria for 5 years. And before that, Syria. Thank you for subscribing, guys. Guys, support us by leaving a like. It can help us reach more people right now. So I would really appreciate it if you can destroy that like button. Habibi, already, all of you. So please do that. Awesome. So do you have bevel object like walls, gap-in doors, etc.? I actually bevel them at the very end of the project. That's a great question, Ganja. So right now, for all of you who is wondering about bevel, you can see like these edges are like extremely sharp, and these edges does not exist in real world. But I don't do them now. I do these type of things at the very end of the project, and I can show you a good example of this. So if we can go to my Artstation, I'm gonna leave that micro cemento on. That's a great recommendation again, Alejandro. I really appreciate it. So on beveling walls and closets and whatnot, you can see here, for example, in my cover picture. No, we can't. Let's look here. This wall here automatically look better. It's just because it's beveled. And I took it slightly one step further. I don't know if you can see, but I even like did move some vertices around because I felt it would be nice. I don't know, some irregularities on the mesh. So this would like make your project look more believable. These little details, you know. However, again, I preferred keeping these to the end of the project. And what I also do, for example, the skirt boards that we can see here, you can see the shadow below them and behind them. It's because I raise them just a little bit and move them away from the wall just a little bit as well. So here's a good example. And yeah, Wait, yeah, look here. When I do skirt boards, for example in Max here, so let's say this wall from here to here, let's do 1, let's do 6 by 2 or 1. Many of us keep them like this, let's say, right? Perfectly aligned on the floor and on the wall. But what I do is just slightly, just like almost barely, you know, move them away from the wall and from the, not in all cases, but when I feel like it, and they make this effect we can see here in the image, which is, I think, a really nice effect. And for all of you, if you have Artstation, please feel free to follow me on Artstation. I would also appreciate it. I think I'm asking you a lot today, but I like you guys. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Are you modeling thickness of the walls? Yes. When you export your meshes, one of the errors I see that people, so here's an example. When they export their mesh to Unreal, they delete this part, the upper part. Oh, what happened? Ah, there we go again. So this part here, always keep your thickness like this. Always have the thickness. It makes your project, not your project, sorry, because if you have sun coming in, it will pass through these faces, unless of course you enable double sided, but it's just easier to avoid light leaks and problems if you actually model the real thickness of everything inside of your project. I think I closed the chat again. Yeah, I did. Sorry, let me open the chat, guys. So let's close this. The computer is becoming so much slower. And let's go. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I'm glad you like the stream. It makes me happy. So let's see, can we find cement? Let's close some of these windows because my computer is dying. Let's close this. Close. Ah, I have multiple chat windows. Ah, there we go, cement. Let's use this. So this is a smooth concrete wall. Alright, let's see how it looks. It doesn't have to be the exact same, right? And when you work with Quixel Bridge, please don't use 4K or 8K at the beginning of your project yet, right? Start with 2K, start small, see if it looks good, then you can up the quality at a final stage or later stage of your project. Because if you export everything at 4K or 8K from the beginning, it will just take more time, take more performance, and you may just delete the surface later. So start small. Now let's assign this guy here, and we can see so much repetition, so it's not a texture that we can repeat. We have to change this later, but that's fine. What can we do for now is increase the tiling a little bit, so let's make it 0.5 by 0.5 perhaps. Let's make it 0.3 by 0.3. In this case, 0.3 by 0.3, like we're really making this texture big, it's okay to export 4K, for example, but not 8K, unless you have virtual texturing enabled. And the texture here, we can see that it is kind of glossy, but ours is full 100% concrete. So what can we do is actually playing a little bit with the roughness. So if you do roughness, like, let's see. Let's keep it like this for now. Okay. 0. Cool. We can always change it later. Now let's build the light. Thank you so much, Zubair. It's my pleasure, man. I'm very happy. Like, sharing is caring, they say, right? So, Ki Shit Tej, I'm sorry about your name. Visual textures is, let's say you have an 8K texture. It's a new method Unreal Engine is using to streamline your project better. So like on performance stuff. So real quick, I didn't get much into it yet. I don't have it enabled unless I enable the GPU light mask, but it's like dividing your texture in many. So it helps you or enables you create and use large side textures for lower and more consistent memory footprint at runtime. So when you have a texture that is 8K or 16, not 16K, but like when you have like very large textures, they consume so much memory. So visual texturing will enable you or help you, like it will create multiple versions of that texture. I don't know how exactly it works, but for example, I had a project, I had textures on it, all of them are 8K. They had to be 8K. Then I was getting like 10, 15 frames per second. I enabled visual texturing and boom, I was getting 40, 50, 60 frames per second. I can't remember, but it just made the performance just so much better. So if you want to read this more, there is a link for you. But visual texturing, when you're using very high quality textures, you can enable it and it will just really help you with the performance. Okay, remember the bookmark we made from set bookmarks? Now if you press 0 again to go back to that exact same angle or bookmark, let's switch back to detailed lighting and let's compare when we had dark textures and now brighter textures. Just by changing the textures, obviously, look how brighter the scene is right now. Right? Because the light is bouncing around carrying this color information. So that's that. And now, what would be our next steps? It's my pleasure, buddy. I'm glad this helped answering your question. I have this mesh, this closet that is using also, I'm using now again, you know, as low as quality as possible. So this surface here is using a 60, we have like a closet. And I think this is a very large surface. And because I want to have a much better shadowing or like a better light bake on this part of my project, I'm gonna take a screenshot. What can I do here is just actually detaching these doors of the closet. So I will do that here. So select by element, detach this guy. There are scripts to detach to help your life easier, but I just reinstalled 3ds Max again. I don't have any scripts, so I'm gonna do that manually. And I'm gonna do the same here. So these are like kitchen doors. However, I don't recommend doing this on all of your projects. It's just because it's a small scale project, I'm doing that. It's fine. And there we go. Let's see if we need to do that to some other parts. So this is fine. This could be divided. So 2 by 2 by 2. And now I am creating the scenario of like, hey, you imported everything at once earlier. Now how are you going to fix it? How are you going to export your project all over again and like re-import everything? No. This is why I rename my meshes. I'm going to delete all the closets and have a separate export for the closets. And actually this is one of the main reasons I do not recommend exporting all of your project as one export, because it makes the import export process painful. So now let's detach this part and this guy. That's enough detaching. I don't want to get you guys bored. I'm gonna just select all my guys here, all my closets. Actually just this part, sorry about that. Let's detach 2 by 2 so we can be faster. There we go. Let's select everything, rename S closet 1, no sorry, rename from here, export, and we will call this guy closets. And this is why I like to, in my 3D projects, to have everything organized into their layers, so the export import process is it's just easier so much. It becomes easier so much. Now I will show you something in Unreal. We can search here for all the closets and delete all of them so we can re-import everything. However, you may have noticed we had things that were called temp and stuff, like they were, this is not all the closets, because here we, okay wait, so to select everything within a specific layer, because it's true all of this are under one datasmith actor, in the window there is also layers, right? So when you export with datasmith, it will also export your layers with it. So now if we just double click our closets layer, it will select everything that was called closet and anything else that was inside that layer, which is box and some temp items for some reason that I left. Now we can delete this, and now we can also delete the layer closets, and now we can import our closets again. By keeping your objects and project properly organized, it streamlines the process of import, export, and all that painful stuff. Again, if you don't know the shortcut, if you want to assign this material across all of these guys, you don't have to select all of them from here. If you're too lazy like me, select just one of them, and because we have everything here isolated, press Ctrl Shift A to select similar actors, and then we can assign our material just like that. Boom, easy peasy. And I'm gonna unisolate my selection, and okay, something is different. I'm glad this happened. Why our lighting is messed up again? Do you remember in Max when we were talking about the post process or the exposure control? It is set on physical or whatever. When we imported the closets, in fact, it's not only the closets, there is also the global exposure. So there is another post-process volume came from 3ds Max. So this guy, it has to go. So now we have our correct exposure. And this looks like this because we need to build our lights. So let's do that real quick. Are there any questions? So far so good. Is it really make a difference? Yes, detaching your meshes like this will make so much difference. It will take longer to bake. It will take more light maps, not longer in our case because it barely took any second, but you can see the difference now when we detached our meshes. I'm gonna take a screenshot. So here our meshes are detached, and this is before where we had one big mesh. Everything were attached, and you could also select this and set it to very high quality like 512 or 10K, 1K or whatever, but I don't want to do that, not yet. I would like to keep my lightmap resolutions as low as possible and detach my meshes based on that, and I usually increase the lightmap resolution at the very end if I have to. So for now I preferred, why I don't increase these to high values, 512. I'm gonna show you why. because when you increase the light map resolution size, it will just take so much time to build, especially if you are working with large projects. So if you go to window and go to where it says developer tools, then to output log, if you would like to know how much time it took to build the light, you can actually do that from the output log or from the swarm agent. But the swarm agent, sorry, it does not give you the exact answer because there are multiple of these. So if you just search here for your desktop, for the computer name, or for just type light mass something, it tells you, hey, light mass on desktop yahiya, yeah boy, took 5 seconds to build, etc. So that's one way how you can find how much time it took. So here, light mass on desktop. So the first time we built the light, when we imported our project, it took 2 seconds, and now because we're detaching meshes, increasing the light map resolution, it's taking longer and longer. So now we have one big floor like this, and you see this here, by the way, the gradient. This is because of the CPU light mass settings. We can fix this if we play with the word light mass, or if we change from build quality to production or something, or with the GPU light mass as well. So one thing I would like to fix is the floor here. So the floor, as we agreed earlier, is way too large for such a project. So let's hide all of the ceilings so we can know exactly what's going on. Let's hide the shapes, and let's, yeah, just like that. For the wall, for the floor, the way I'm going to, first I need to make this quads, so now it's n-gons. So this means I cannot put swift loops or whatnot, so I can make my life easy. So I'm gonna cut from here to here, and can I use 8K? You can, but I don't recommend. Don't go too high. It's painful to go on very high settings. So I will share with you my work. Provide me with your contact email address. I need suggestions on my mistakes. Sandeep, we have a community on Discord. You will find the link below. 800 members. You can share your work in progress, your finished works, your portfolio, everything. So let me take you a quick tour later, so we can keep staying here. Please join us, and I would love to take a look at what you are making and give you feedback and hopefully help you improve. So the link is in the description. Farhat, what happens if I explode everything instead of detaching so I can save some time? That's possible, but if you explode everything, just be careful, not like, it's not recommended. I would prefer to know. Usually I use a script that can explode, or not explode, detach elements. If what you mean with explode is also exploding faces, so this one is alone, and then this one is alone, and this one is alone, don't do that. But if you want to explode, let's say this part, so the element like this, all of it as one piece, that's completely fine, but not the faces, because as far as I know, when we do explode, it will explode the faces as well. And you don't want also to have, you need to find the sweet spot. It's true I was like detaching all of these, but it's because I know where is the sweet spot. I didn't, if I have like much bigger project, I won't detach each and every one of them. Perhaps every 4 maybe, or every 5. It depends, but this is because a small project, then yeah, maybe every element, it's okay because it's a small project. So exploding everything like this, is not the best practice when you have a large project, and having all of it as one mesh is also not the best practice when you have small project, or like there is always a sweet spot, so you need to know what is the sweet spot for your project. Sorry, I must go. Hey Ahmad, iftar mubarak, iftar makbul, and as they say in Turkish, afiyat olsun. صحة وهنا حبيبي. You will find the video on the channel, and thank you for being here today. I appreciate you, man. Share textures. What is your... My suggestion, share textures is to 2K, 4K, no more than that. 8K if you have to. If you're like... I can never think of a situation where you need like 8K at it. At least for what we're doing right now here. Right? So don't use 8K. Unless you have to. Unless like you... I don't know. Like... There is no scenario I can think of now, but don't. My PC spec 1080 Ti GTX for the GPU. For the lightmap resolution, I start as small as possible. You can see here 64, and it always comes down to the... Where is it? The stationary, the lightmap density. And if you would like to learn about the lightmap density and lighting detailed interiors, and like take not also from me, from other opinions, your big boy William Faucher recently made a live stream where he also like talks about these things as well. He made like very awesome tutorial. Why is the picture like this? I made another picture. Interesting. So William, I recommend for everyone, guys, go subscribe to his channel. I love this guy, his videos. This guy knows a lot. So he recently made a live stream, which is this one. I'm gonna link you to it, and you can also learn so much on lighting from William, and some other amazing cool tricks. And he talk a lot about light map density, and we will get into it step by step, slowly. Alright, so now, where we at? We have our lights. It's time to put some lighting in our project, right guys? So let's do this. We were dividing the floor mesh, so let's finish that so we can start lighting our project. The next step would be stuff like this, you know, so let's go ahead and do that. However, thank you so much, Ganja. I appreciate it a lot. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. It's time to divide our floor meshes. I'm gonna do it real quick. So this is one floor, alright, and this is another floor. So let's select all of these and let's rename them. So S_floor. And because we changed the topology a little bit, don't forget to do UVW mapping box, so your textures won't look stretched. I use Mixer and Quixel Megascans almost all time, all day. And I mainly use Mixer to create exterior environments. So one of my hobbies is to create large scale worlds, and I use Quixel Mixer to do that. I love Quixel Mixer, and the new release of Quixel Mixer, I'm so happy they added UDIMs, and like we can paint across multiple texture sets now. It's so good. So I'm gonna delete this floor and this floor. I'm gonna data math. select the floor again and import it, and it will go exactly where it belongs. Let's select all the floors and assign that texture. Sorry about, I didn't mean to touch the mic. And let's click build light. And there is something interesting. So why the thumbnail? Huh, there we go. Yeah, this is the thumbnail. Nice. Okay. I will show you now how we enable the GPU light mask. So we should be good. However, before we do that, there are few things we can do to before. Let's forget the GPU light mask. Let's assume you're working with a CPU light mask. I'm gonna tell you few things I forgot to do. So let's just keep things organized. Let's make a new folder, call it also cameras, and put that there. As you can see, I don't have any post-process light mask importance volume, and I don't have light mask portals. I didn't use them because I always work with the GPU light mask, and with the GPU light mask you don't want them, but with the CPU light mask you actually do. For example, in these dark areas that are lit by the skylight, they look so bad. As you can see, these splotches and like ew, you know, how can we fix this? At least without increasing the light map resolution or any settings yet. Well, let's walk around, take few screenshots. So here's one. Here's one. Oh my god, it's so bad here. Here's one. And perhaps here's one. Okay? What we should do, if you go to place volumes, go to volumes, you need to find the light mask importance volume. So here's one. Click it, drag it, go to tab. And if you don't know how I go to tab left, right like this, perhaps you do. But if you don't, if you press Ctrl, middle mouse button, you cannot see it here. If you press Ctrl, middle mouse button, you will see this line. So if you move it to top, you go top. If you move it below, you go to bottom, sides. If you move it to this corner, that's perspective. So now you know, okay? And let's just scale this like so. Move it to the side. Scale it like this. Go back to perspective, and we need a light mask portal. Quickly, what light mask portal does, I'm gonna show you a picture that we can compare with immediately, with light mask portals and without light mask portals. So the image here, this is a render without the light mask portals, and this is with the light mask portals. It's amazing the difference that can happen with and without. So let's see if this will also happen to our project. So we need to bring them and place them where we have openings, so where the light is coming in. As you can see, according to the documentation, you need to place them on your windows. Where you have windows, where the light is coming in, you need to place them there. And if you'd like, of course, to read more, just do that. Any questions? Yeah, Quixel Mixer is absolute magic. I love it. Just wait until we start on the world building tutorials. You will love the Quixel Mixer tutorials coming soon. So far we didn't do any, but wait for it. How do I take screenshot without going to the top left arrow? Yeah, Harshit, thank you for answering this. It's F9 to take a screenshot. So let's make a new folder immediately and call this light mask. And let's move these guys here, and then let's move the portal. And I can easily place my portals, so now you can see, yeah, we can of course move our portals like this and place them around, then move around the project. But what can be easier? What's easier way? Again, do you remember? I think because some of you are new here. Let me show you something, guys. I'm gonna select my windows, And if you noticed, when I press a button, I isolate my selection, and if I unpress that button and isolate my selection. So if we select the portal with them, just becomes so much easier to place my portals, to see stuff. And that button is a shortcut I did. But if you don't want the shortcut, if you just right click on the visibility here, there is show only selected and visibility show all actors. So by default, there is no shortcut for this. However, if you go to window, I keep repeating this because it's one of my favorite shortcuts of all time. If you go to editor preferences and search for show all actors, you can set a shortcut for it from the editor preferences, and if you show only selected, you can also set a shortcut for it. Alright? And for future, if you would like to, if you like these small tips, I have this playlist. One of them, I make like short videos on small Unreal Engine tips. This is the longest one, 4 minutes, but you can find it here. So 1 minute, 2 minutes, I keep uploading small tips here. So it's also there. What is the difference from the CPU to the GPU? When would you use what? Why not always use the CPU? That's a great question, Ganja. The GPU Lightmass or the GPU Baker for Archviz projects like this, number one, it gives you really amazing results so much easily, like much easier to achieve photorealistic results, and it's also way much faster, much faster when it comes to large scale projects. The CPU Lightmass, we use it in games mainly because the GPU Lightmass does not work well with what we call the volumetric light maps. Okay, the CPU Lightmass works perfectly with these guys and is so good for games, but for Archviz, if you don't want to deal with these things, you know, this gradient, because these are supposed to be one material, why the hell we have this gradient here or there, or these splotches? Of the GPU Lightmass, you don't get these. However, for the CPU Lightmass to get rid of these, it's it's harder. So the things we do to get rid of these here, it's placing the Lightmass portals, it's playing with the Lightmass settings here, it's longer bake times, it's changing from preview to production. So that's why we use the GPU Lightmass when it comes to Archviz projects like this. So if you use Unreal Engine for Archviz, I highly recommend using the GPU Lightmass. Like, I can't stress it enough, but you would do yourself a massive favor if you use the GPU Lightmass for your Archviz projects. If you use Unreal Engine for games, don't bother. You can keep using the GPU Lightmass because, you know, in Archviz, photorealism or like this super clean mesh and like these things really matter, not as much as they do in games. So now you can see, guys, I am placing these Lightmass portals around like so. So -90, scaling them to match the size, and this will help Lightmass, the CPU Lightmass, where the light is coming in and whatnot. This would also reduce the time needed to bake the light. So if you're using the CPU Lightmass and it's taking too much time to render or to build the light, you can reduce the time needed to render by placing these. However, don't place too many of them because it can do the opposite as well. Increase the time needed to bake the light. So just add them where you need them. Like so. And hopefully, if we bake the light now, we should see these gone. Let's see. Let's find out. not much. Here we had some pretty bad artifacts, they are gone now. But here we are still have the same problems. Let's see. Here we do have still the same problems. At this point then, it's time to increase the lightmap resolution on some meshes. Alright? However, there are some meshes like this. What I would do for such a mesh, the walls for example, this mesh, we see its part from here, so this is part 1, and we see part of it here. So this wall, I'm gonna do it only on this wall to again discuss instead of increasing the lightmap resolution for this wall actually and for this wall. So let's go back to max to fix the mesh of that wall and that wall. So for this guy, I'm going to select these 3 faces and detach them. And for this guy, I'm going to select this face and also detach it. So there we go. Let's see. Do we need to fix it anywhere since we're doing it? I think this wall could use the same. Uh-oh. Can you please go back? Alright. Where do I see which CPU or GPU? By default, you are using the CPU light mask. In few moments, I'm going to show you how to enable the GPU light mask ganja. Don't worry. So this is yes. And this wall, Max, stop moving meshes, please. Oh my god. White Ghost. I have lighting noise even on 1024 light mask resolution production quality. Any tips, please? I always have problem with that. I even 4K. No, don't 4K. White Ghost. Are you using the CPU light mask or the GPU light mask? And could you please share some pictures on our Discord community of the splotches you're having? So for now, I will tell you what we're doing. Is what you're having is something similar to this or this? Because I'm trying to solve this as well right now. So if your answer is yes, welcome, and let's see how we can fix these. So before I export, because I know I'm gonna export only once, I'm gonna rename these guys, give them the name they deserve, which is wall, and do an export. I forgot to give them UVW mapping. Do we have to? We will see. Let's go back here and let's enable our layers again. Let's delete these walls. And let's import again. Alright. And let's also... So another shortcut, guys, when you have data math actor like this, if you want to select everything beneath it, if you just hold Ctrl Shift D, it will select everything beneath it. Now we can deselect the wall, the data math actor, because we cannot have static mesh and other type of actor, or they won't share the same material, or you know. So the materials, if you have multiple types of actors selected, we can see it. So only static mesh. And now let's see if doing this is going to improve on our light bake, on our quality. Sorry. Not yet. Did not. So at this point, it is time to improve on like the production or the light mask settings here and whatnot. However, to be really honest with you, I don't do that. It's time to switch to the GPU light mask. Now, I'm gonna show you how to enable the GPU light mask, everyone. So pay attention. To enable that, let's go to project settings, and there are multiple settings we need to enable. First is if we search for, we need to enable ray tracing, and I don't have an RTX card, I have 1080 Ti GTX. So as long as it supports ray tracing even partially, you should be fine. The first option we need to enable or change is the default RHI from default or DirectX 11 to DirectX 12. That's one. Ray tracing, enable it and tell it yes. It will ask you to restart the engine. We don't have to restart yet because there are multiple other things to do. Let's also search for virtual texturing. Enable that, okay, and also enable it for the light maps. That is one. And the next setting we need to enable from the plugins and the built-in or all, just search for GPU light mask, enable it, and now we can restart the engine. So let's restart the engine. It will take a moment. Ganja, what does detaching the wall mean? Like in Blender, would you duplicate the plane or make a new one? The detach is in Blender, I believe, what was it? The reason I detach is because I want that wall to have different light map resolution. Sorry, different. Yeah, actually, the reason I detach walls like that is because I want every piece I detach to have its own UVW map for the light map. Alright, so it have more space to bake the light in it. And in Blender, I believe when we select a face, it was split. Yes, but not even split because right now split, they are still the same mesh, right? So instead of cube, we would have like one cube now and this face alone. So what was it in Blender? Separate? Yeah, separate by pressing B. In Blender, it's separate. You see, I click Blender open in 3 seconds. Holy shit. Yes, thank you, Khatij. P for detaching in edit mode. That's the one. Joy Tuma, welcome. So, when you select a project template, yes, I choose the architectural template, the AEC, and I use the blank one because blank projects are the best. Guys, this boy is hungry. Give me a second until this loads. Harshit, are you going to cover any new topics that you haven't already in your previous light mask or relighting tutorials? No, I don't think I have ever actually. No, because I remember doing one on the GPU light mask for 426. Uh, the engine is taking its time. When you enable ray tracing, keep in mind it will take a while to open the project again, and this actually sucks. So this might be a good time. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask while we wait for the engine to load. Give me a second here. Let's see that. I can bring another light. It's getting dark. Wow, time goes fast. Alright. Is there a way to switch between nighttime lighting and daytime or vice versa fluently? I used the yes. It is so much easier now once the engine loads again. I'm gonna show you. I used the logic of making two different levels and okay. If you're talking about baked lighting, you can use something called lighting scenarios. So exactly as you said, you have two different levels and you switch the lighting scenario. Or if you're talking about dynamic lighting in Unreal Engine 426, on the skylight, when it's movable, there is something called real-time capture. If you just enable that, it becomes just as so easy to switch between day and night. Once the engine loads, I will show you what I mean. Your internet is great now. A shot drink of vodka for you. Yes, the internet is great finally. If you guys don't know, I usually suffer with the internet. It's a nightmare. So, how do you say cheers in... well, cheers. I don't have vodka now, but cheers. صحتك in Arabic we say. Joy Tuma. Ferhat, what do you think about Blender? Why we are using 3ds Max now, but it is kind of clunky. Yeah, 3ds Max is so clunky, right? Slow opening, saving times, etc. And I heard modeling is easier for Archviz. The only reason I use 3ds Max... the only reason I use 3ds Max is because it's what I learned 10 years ago. But since Blender 2.8, I'm just like slowly transitioning, and I think Blender is great and it's easy. It might be hard for a 3ds Max user or someone who used any other tool for many years, because we have just our muscle memory, you know, and we want to have the same rotation shortcuts or whatnot on Blender as well. I would recommend learning Blender and try to learn Blender exactly as it is. So just get used to it. I love Blender, and there is an artist. I mean, the engine is still not open. Holy shit. So, the Jama, let me, like, I think this guy is one of the best Blender users ever. Ya boy Jama. So let me share my screen again. I mean, if this guy is making this stuff on Blender, what is stopping us from learning Blender as well, right? And he makes also amazing Blender tutorials. Ya boy Jama here. So, also this in real time. Wow. I had... yeah. He wanted water. So, Harun should be happy now. I plan on making Blender tutorials soon, but once I get the hang of it, I could start with stuff like this in Blender now, thankfully, But for Archviz, I am still so bad. But look at this, all of this in Blender and also real time. The reason I have Blender is because you can create art really fast. Welcome to Turkey, baby. Yes, I sometimes suffer with the internet share textures, you have no idea, and so many other things, but it is what it is. I love the country, I love the food, I love 90% of the people, but yeah, it is what it is. Like, wherever you are, right? I don't love the internet though. Amal Bubble is the Blender expert, by the way, so he's also with us in the community. So if you have any Blender questions, it's your boy Amal. He always teach me Blender. I'm having a lot of issues, so give me a second and let's... Wow, this might take forever thanks to ray tracing. Should we wait? Oh, sorry. Give me a second. I don't want... So let's... Okay. I hope I didn't do anything to your ears, but if I touch this, it's gonna be very bad for your ears. So let's do hello and put this here so I can read like facing you guys. So, alright, next on the chat, until Unreal Engine opens, I think we should make another session, guys. It's 45%. I don't know. Should we wait? Let's wait. I'm gonna keep reading here. I'm starting to get hungry. What should I eat? Lahmacun? So many people are migrating to Blender now. It's the topic of the day, you know. I love it. Learn Blender if you can, and while you can. The new geometry nodes are also very nice. Share textures. Once the lockdown is finished, we should go drink beer or something. Alright, finally Unreal Engine is open. It's compiling shaders again. Let's do this, and let me switch back to our project. There are 7,000 shaders to compile. Oh my god, this is bad. When we enable also visual texturing, we need to rebuild the light and whatnot and all that stuff. What I like about Unreal Engine 426, that we can use the CPU baker or the GPU baker at once, like not together, but it's not like when in Unreal Engine 425 it's only this or that. So now we have the option to showcase the difference between the CPU and the GPU, so that's great. Hey, hello. Your name, could you please tell me how I can pronounce your name in English? I honestly don't know. Daria? Is it Daria? I used Google Translate, so let me know if that's right. Amal, I need you to teach me Blender, bro. Yeah, takes a lot of time when you enable ray tracing and visual texturing on the light maps. It's like, look, 666. Yeah. Alright. You wanna say hi to Harun? Hamid, I used to live in Istanbul too. Nice. So many people used to live here. It's a beautiful city. I love Istanbul. Been here for 5 years. I'm planning on staying for more. Actually, not for more, but it's good. Daria, how are you? How is your week going? And how excited are you about the weekend? We're waiting for the shaders to compile, guys, until we start building light again. But let me show you something. Perhaps you may be suffering with the same idea if you have like... If you have to, you know, like make the engines smaller or bigger, and you don't want this, what can you do is clicking on this nice little arrow, the yellow one, clicking on the toolbar, and then move it to the top, like so. And there we go. You have everything now without the need to click on that arrow. And now to build with the GPU light mask, if we click on build lighting only, once we enable the GPU light mask, it will build with the CPU light mask. And the GPU light mask here, we need to enable ray tracing. We just did. We can build with the GPU light mask. So let's check if we have forgot anything. Default RHI is set to DirectX 12. I remember we enabled ray tracing. Damn it. So let's go back here like this again and bring the chat on the side so I can make eye contact with you guys and read what we have here. So while we wait, if you have any questions on Unreal Engine, feel free to ask because we wait. I heard Blender is not that great yet or something on heavy scenes, just like Ferhat here is saying. So that's something to consider. What do you think, Amal, or everyone who works with Blender? Do you work with massive projects, like big projects in Blender, or how is that? Harun, Shared Textures is the expert in Blender and Max and Unreal Engine. Harun? Ta? Are you a good boy? He is a good boy. Ta? Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. Look at this good boy. What? You wanna say hello? You wanna tell them how much you know Unreal Engine? I mean, you can look at Harun until Unreal Engine opens. I don't know. What? Say meow. Go. Lahmacun. Oh my god, I want lahmacun too. I'm so hungry. I forgot to eat anything since like 9 hours or something. You can use with complex scenes if you have good RAM. RAM is always important. And you are using LTS version of Blender. Absolutely. 32 gigabytes of RAM. Honestly, I had 32 gigabytes of RAM on some of my Unreal Engine projects as well, and I had problems. When I upgraded to 64 gigabytes of RAM, I stopped having so many problems. So I used to have constant crashes on big projects when I'm building the light with 32 gigabytes of RAM. And once I upgraded to 64, and most of them disappeared, I was like, what even RAM have to do with this? Because we're using the VRAM. And I was like, alright. Nice. Hey Daria, I just started to use Unreal Engine. That's good. Welcome to the community then. We have a Discord community, 800 people also using Unreal Engine, so feel free to join us. And if you have any questions and all, we're doing the questions and all. And while we wait for Unreal Engine to open, because we enabled ray tracing for the stupid GPU light mask, it's still at 39%. Damn it. Okay. Very good. Can ray tracing work with... Wait, there's any questions before? Before I get to your question, Marzouk. About your question, Lahmacun for the main shared textures. Shared textures, by the way, what's your name? What can I call you? LTS stable, yes, always use this LTS. Alright, Marzouk, can ray tracing work with NVIDIA 1050 card? I honestly don't know. Let's Google that. Ray tracing UE4 10 1050 or 1050 Ti. So there is a list of cards that they do not work or something. So let's see, here's someone asking the same question on Reddit. Uh, Honestly, the best way to answer your questions is to try to enable ray tracing, because as it says here, it's sorta work on my 1080 Ti, and when I'm working with ray tracing for my projects, I disable it. I just use it for the GPU lightmass, because the new GPU lightmass in Unreal Engine, it needs ray tracing in order to work. However, if you still want to use the GPU lightmass, but you ray tracing for some reason is not working on your 1050, because your 1050 is GTX, you can use Lu Shuang GPU lightmass, which is the older version on Unreal Engine 425. That I also still use, by the way, especially for production projects, Marzouk. So I don't know. I don't have 1080 1050 to be honest. So here it says your GTX 1050 Ti does not have any ray tracing support whatsoever. So unfortunately, I think not. I don't know. Let us know, buddy. If you, I think you are with us on Discord already, so get in touch with me there. So is RTX graphics card better for Unreal? Uh, Unreal Ray Tracing won't work without an RTX card as far as I know for now. I'm not sure about ray tracing cards on AMD because I don't also have one, but you don't need an RTX card in order to have ray tracing or enable the GPU lightmass. That's something we know. But if you can get one, please do get one. You would just make your life so much easier. I should work for Nvidia sales at this point, right? Welcome to the community, Dario. Tulga, it's a pleasure to meet you, my man. Just 1050. I don't think it would work. 3 hours! Oh my god. Guys, let's do quick Q&A session, because I think this will take much longer than it should. I'm going live again tomorrow, and everything we have done today, like the modeling of this apartment and everything we will be doing next, will be on videos as well. So don't worry, we will continue where we are at. If I don't eat now, I might die, so I have to eat. So let's do 10 minutes Q&A. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them if I can while I'm hungry. And I'm sorry for anything bad I say if I'm hungry now. So let's finalize this. It's been 3 hours. Wow. Thank you for reminding me, Amal, but time goes so fast. Oh my god. I don't think Unreal Engine will open today. No, Blender gets way too slow by big scenes. But just for making scene pictures, it is perfect, and I think the community is great. Every problem I have, the community of Blender is actually great. I love. See, that's one of the main reasons I love Blender, is the community as well. They always have an answer. There is always something. Thank you, Tulga. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, guys, it's time to wrap up then, because Unreal Engine won't open and I'm very hungry. Sorry, Daria. Come back tomorrow though and join us on Discord so you know when we go live. And yeah, it's been a pleasure, everyone. Today was fun day. We advanced really good in this project, and tomorrow we'll finalize it. Other than that, I thank you so much for hanging around. It's been like really fun. Take care. I'm gonna order lahma joon. Yes. And see you guys. Yes. Harun, do you want to say goodbye too? He said no.